What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Racing News Live. It's Magic, it's Aaron. We're so happy because that was an awesome run from one of our favorite horses of the day. Our Kim just won the very one at Gulfstream, and we were never lost confidence in her, right? Even when she had that squirrely break.
I was yelling, "Vamos, Tyler!" And I thought, "Oh no, you're from Florida. Go, Tyler!" He doesn't know what "vamos" means, but no, listen, it wasn't a really good break, but she ran well, and it's like I told you, it's great now that I can just sit here and have fun with you the rest of the day, knowing that it's a profitable day no matter what. Had a really good early part of the card, middle part of the card, fall off a little bit, but still ahead a decent amount. And then after that win, ahead a well over enough to where if I lose everything else, I'm still a good day. So that's kind of what that meant there, that win. And like you said, it was just a really, once she got going, it was like, oh, she's just well better than the rest of these horses.
Well, they have broken from the gate at Aqueduct. They're already a quarter mile into the Busher Stakes here. Jody's Pride, your 4-5 favorite. We didn't get to see, just FYI, who beat Jody's Pride in the Juvenile Fillies last out. She scratched midway through the card with a fever, but Jody's Pride looking very comfortable. I would say, even though we saw who was in that race, a much easier race here at the Busher than what the Devona Dale was.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But, the Devona, actually, I don't know now looking back at it with the scratch there.
And with Leslie's Rose.
That's true. Yeah, very true. All right. Well, anyway, this one, the 6 looks pretty darn good here. And, boy, what a mess, right? Look at the track there compared to what we saw at Gulfstream. Or what we've been seeing at Gulfstream. Let's see if the 6 is going to go by. Looks like she's going to. Yep.
I think it's more the 7 didn't hold on. The 6 really wasn't gaining, and just kind of the 7 just got a little weary there.
In the 7, I think you're right.
She's all over the place.
Yeah, that was really not a good stretch run there to start our show off, Matt. We should have started 2 minutes earlier. We would have had a lot more fun. But hey, Jody's Pride, that was a top pick, but 4-5, so nothing to brag about.
You can't brag about 6-5 on our Kim. She was 3-5 at going into the gate there. One of the rare price increases on the favorite as they went off. So, all right.
How weird? Sorry, not to cut you off, but how weird they made that. So I did all the handicapping. I do everything before the morning lines come out, and basically when the lines come out, I just make sure I don't have 3 horses boxed that are 3 favorites and that kind of thing. But I don't change my picks, right? And so that line came out, and she was 7-2 on the morning line, and the 5 was 5-2 on the morning line. And I thought, if we get 7-2, I may die because she looks way the best. And like you said, got all the way down to 3-5 at one point before 6-5. There were some really stupid morning lines on this card. And look, you can say it in hindsight, or you can say it when you handicapped it. The 11 being 8-1 in the first leg or first race of the day and went off the favorite. Stuff like that has been happening almost every race, it seems like.
Congrats to Mark Haft, a longtime fan of the dudes. Yeah. He had a pick 3 going 2-6-10. You almost got the 6. I mean, selfishly, he probably was rooting the 6 home. She was 9-1, but nobody was touching our Kim. Still on an $18 ticket, $163 cash, which, yeah, congrats to you. That's pretty awesome.
Yes, excellent. Good job, Mark. And yeah, good to see you on here. And it's one of those days where, Paul texted me earlier. He's like, "Yeah, good luck making money on this card." It's like, you can make money on this card. I mean, yeah, the Fountain of Youth sucks. Yeah, the Devona Dale sucks. Where else does it suck? So I didn't know. It's like, well, those are the 2 big prep races. Well, true. So that does suck that they totally are terrible. But look, it's still a fun card. So. I saw Lori C said the card's not great compared to last year at Gulfstream. At least you're at Gulfstream, Lori. I'll say that, right? You could be in a room here talking to Magic inside today. You're drinking margaritas in Florida. I'll trade you.
Yeah, it could be a lot worse for you there. You could be trying to sit at Santa Anita and there's no racing going on because it's not as bad as Aqueduct. It is rainy here. It's not as bad as what we saw at Aqueduct there, but they also don't run on the turf till at least April there. Well, since all the Oaks races for the weekend are done, I want to ask you, Aaron, where do you see the Kentucky Oaks picture? Does it get any clearer for you? Do you have a clubhouse leader right now?
Nope.
If you had to bet on it right now, who would you pick to bet on it?
I would probably just try to black out before that race. I got to be like, everybody's complaining about the Derby picture. The Oaks is like, I don't know. And it's going to be hard for me to even care until the actual card comes out. I don't see anybody to get excited about. Sometimes you get excited and you're wrong, but at least you're excited. Who am I supposed to be excited about right now on that side of it?
That's fair.
And today, the big horse, maybe she would have been the big horse, but the big horse scratches after, the fourth or fifth race, just FYI scratches. That's one I think if she wins today, you're excited about her. But now what, You're
right. The picture just it didn't get any clearer. It looks a lot like the Aqueduct weather right now, but at least I will say I was a big fan of Intricate as far as, progressing along the Fairgrounds Trail. Her third start off of the layoff would be the Kentucky Oaks if she keeps on schedule. And, Tyler Gaffleon, Brendan Walsh, they teamed up with Pretty Mischievous last year. Teamed up with R. Callie Kim to win the very one right there. So that's who I would go with, but it's, there's no horse where you're like, that's the one. That's the one here on the first Saturday in March that in 2 months I'm going to be betting on the first Friday of May. So
it's the Lucas horse, right? Lemon Muffin, or was it better name Lemon Muffin last week that won with the maiden? Yeah.
I was so focused on Keith Asmussen getting his first graded stakes win aboard her that I had totally missed that there was also a maiden that won that race. Like that's just how this whole entire trail seems to be going. Derby, Oaks, it's like the maiden for D. Wayne Lucas won the Lemon Muffin.
It's funny. We were sitting around, a big group of us at Oaklawn last week, and when we realized, okay, it was Lucas, okay, it was a maiden, and then you kind of go through the progression of kind of your shockedness, so to speak. And then you go, okay, you're telling me Keith Asmussen just won his first graded stakes for D. Wayne Lucas on a maiden in an Oaks prep. Tell me who could have wrote that story, but it's just one of those things that'll go down in history, such a legendary thing when you look back and be like, wow, he D. Wayne Lucas got him his first stakes, graded stakes victory. So that was cool. We got a good kind of chuckle / shake your head like, man, there just really isn't anything this guy can't do, talking about D. Wayne Lucas. So it was pretty cool.
Well, let's move ahead now. We got 13 minutes to post to race 11 at Gulfstream Park, and we're going to be it's the grade 2 Gulfstream Park mile. Big scratch here with Witt. We knew Castle Chaos was going to be in there, but Witt scratches out of it. We also lost Ticking to a scratch. So just a field of 5. Tumber Rumba, Steel Sunshine, Il Miracle, they're all 2-1. Pick your poison.
Yeah, I mean, I bet $4 on this race. And to Lori C's point, this is one of the races that just suck. I mean, there's no way around it. The problem is, I really don't want to bet Tumbarumba at 7-5, even though that's probably the fair odds for the horse, right? Mm-hmm. That's the problem. Tumbarumba, this is not a disrespectful comment towards this horse. This is who I picked on top, but 3-2. Kind of I don't really want to do that, but again, that's probably what his odds should be. So it's not very exciting. I think the scratch of Witt is disappointing because I didn't really like that horse, but I think he was going to take money. Mm-hmm. So then what are you left with, right? You're left with who's going to take the money? The 5. There's Jared.
Yeah.
Kept waiting for one of you idiots to bring me in. No one did, so I just let myself in. So what's up? What'd I miss?
You did a great, perfectly timed dropping Leslie's Rose. She got you as many points as she was going to get you.
Yeah, I was joking with Alterman last night. I was like, what if, because obviously after the Sugar Horse yesterday that I dropped her for, it looked so good. I said, what if I dropped the Oaks winner for the Derby winner? And then I texted him right after the race. I said, not the Oaks winner. not the Oaks winner. Yeah, that was bad. I mean, she definitely, got herself into a little trouble there, but shit, she looked, at least Kings Barnes looked a little bit better than she did, but I don't know. Kings Barnes, the Pletchers aren't running off the screen, right? Or if they're running at all. So, Halterman, how do you feel about Speakeasy later?
I about like I did, 6 hours ago, 3 days ago, 2 weeks ago. I think that he's got a better chance of being phony as he does being great, but I have to have a horse, I have to have a horse to run some point somewhere. And so you pick him up and it really can't set up any better for him. But I still don't know if he's any good. If that's kind of, I guess what I'm trying, I wouldn't be shocked either way. Like he might be the goods, but I don't know. That number seems phony to me.
Yeah, him and Victory Avenue got, what was it, 197 or something like that buyers in that race. Just huge numbers. So yeah, I don't know though. Like he's not going to have to be very good really today to win. No. That's the frustrating part about today is, and frankly tomorrow, I guess now with Niso scratching, it's like, I mean, even if Niso's in the race, you're not learning anything in that race. But today it's just like, what are you learning, out of these? Really nothing. Even the Gotham. I mean, the Gotham's a nice betting race. It should be a fun one. But what are we really learning from the Derby picture today,
Probably nothing. I do think if you see a horse win in the kind of the fashion that Conquest Warrior won yesterday, if you see that in the Fountain of Youth or the Gotham, it does mean something, right? But I mean, I was on here a month ago with you guys, and I was like, don't worry about it right now. Like, it hasn't even started. I mean, it started. The Risen Star kind of kicked us off of the big ones, and we're still not seeing much, right? And every week it's like, oh, well, that's not very good. So,
yeah, at what point do you get concerned?
I would be concerned now. I think the big thing the disappointing thing, I should say, is this felt like it was going to be, hey, we're going to find some things out.
Yeah.
And then there it is.
I guess I should be a little bit more optimistic about it, just because I think from today's standpoint, like we can at least learn one of these two horses, if not both of them, to see if they're any good. Like if one of them were to run very, very poorly, like off, out of the top three or something, then you're like, well, I don't know what that really is. So if you'd like to at least let them kind of, if they run 1-2 here, like they should, considering who's in the field, then at least you say, well, that sucks, but they're probably on the Derby radar, Yeah. So, at least you have that.
Probably the best thing for like Derby and like to get excited about it would be Dornoch winning, because you go, okay, well, Dornoch,
yeah,
he's won 3 in a row now, and you see early on the horse he beat 2 races back was able to, come back and win. So I think he would kind of begin to build that hype a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. And again, I don't know how that race is going to play out. He might be just a gate to wire type, right? And if he goes gate to wire with that much pressure, what do you really learn? Probably not so much.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. There's not a lot of you just need to see him and I think too, Dornoch is like him coming off the bench. Like then you have the built-in excuse already. Just like if he doesn't run great, you're like, well, give him another try. So, I'm just not sure if he runs off the screen, then obviously, yeah, you can get a little excited about him.
Yep. Magic, how far away till your best bet is it? Oh, we got 18 minutes. Never mind. Still got 18
Yeah,
minutes.
Laurel's 17 and Golden Gate's 37, so we're still a ways out.
Okay. All right. I want to put a pin in that, Laura. I want to watch your best bet here. So.
Oh boy.
Magic, you have a fantasy horse at Oaklawn too coming up in the 8th race, I think.
8th race, yep. Yeah. See how flaccid Big E Energy is going to look today. Like, is it like you talking about like the sadness, sad state of fantasy teams? That's our second best horse right now. Like, we have 2 horses that are not hurt or disappearing somewhere. So that's how we're doing.
My second best horse still hasn't finished the race yesterday at Gulfstream. Merit.
Yeah, that's all right. Hey, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to move on. I said John's saying his bankroll needs improvement starting now. If you're playing Aaron's bankroll recommendations in the betting Bible, you're officially having a profit for the day no matter what else happens. Jared, I haven't tracked what yours are. I only know because Aaron told me that he was up. How have your picks been doing?
I'm calculating that right now. I'm up.
Okay.
I'm definitely up after the win there on our Cali Kim. But I don't know how much I'm up yet. I'm up probably
okay. Well, that's good.
I don't know, $20 or so maybe. So.
That's a profit. Listen,
yeah, I got my biggest win of the day is on this next one, Tumbarumba, and then I've got I only got a couple more left because I'm out of the bets. no bet in the Fountain of Youth anymore. Got a couple another win, an exacta coming up. But yeah, so it should still be decently profitable if I can get one of these Tumbarumba or Emanuel home in these next 2 races. It'll be a solid day.
What do you think of the price on Tumbarumba here? I don't know if you were on yet when we were talking about it, but I think he should be this price, but it's also a hard price to kind of swallow on him.
Yeah, honestly, I was worried because I use this horse as the best bet as well on the site under the best bets page. And, even though the scratch wasn't, I liked Witt second or third. I didn't necessarily think he was a huge threat, but still with the no Pletcher Irad in the race, I was like, damn, that's going to make the Tumbarumba price go down even further. So I'm really not shocked that he's 3-2, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it is one of those things. I mean, against these horses, I don't know what you would expect, but
I really liked him. I don't necessarily love Witt at all in the race, but I loved him before Witt was scratched. So I'll still take the 3-2 on him.
I think if he gets beat, it's going to be like a weird one, like the 6.
Yeah, he'll fire. He always fires. That's why I like him so much. He fires every time, and he runs different distances, and he's just a solid horse. And it's not a good field, so it's just like, okay, I can get on board with both of those.
Well, one thing about it, we know Remington Park horses can run anywhere once they leave Remington Park, even Saudi. So for Tumbarumba to come over here and win 2 in a row at Gulfstream Park, no big deal, because Senor Buscador was able to win the Saudi Cup after running at Remington Park.
Sure,
that was like 4 years ago, but he still ran there.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very standard thing for Remington, isn't it? The Remington to Saudi.
It's amazing that that's going to be a story for forever in horse racing, that a Remington Park Springboard Mile winner went on to win the Saudi Cup. I mean, I still can't say it without that laughing at the end. And it's like last week, we all were just smiling from ear to ear when we brought that race up. Like, that's so cool that he was able to do that. But yeah,
it's that was something. That was magic. Your reaction to that was awesome. It was a reaction that we all had.
Yeah,
but it was just great that it was someone caught it, one of us on camera, because it was.
Did any of you realize it was Buscador until the last few seconds?
No, because I was exactly like you. I was so focused on who was coming right there close, and obviously knowing Ushba, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be Ushba, it's Ushba. And then you kind of catch the eye of of Senor, and you're like, oh, who is that? And you realize it right at the last, like, not even enough time to celebrate it until he had already won.
So believe it or not, at Oaklawn, now I heard they had it on in the casino, Shadi told me, but I was sitting at the kind of the racetrack upstairs, and they would not put it on any of the TVs. I guess they didn't have it contracted out, So we were watching on a phone, right? We didn't know who it was even when the race was over. We said the outside horse got it. We all said it. Yeah, outside horse got it. Outside horse got it.
There, yeah.
And then Kelly goes, I think it was the 12. And I go, okay, who was the 12? I don't even remember who the 12 was. And Rich gets his paper. He goes, that's Senor Buscador. And we're like, okay, there's no way it was the 12, right? There's no way. So we go back and we're like, oh my God, he just won. It was yeah. So we had like the delayed Magic reaction, like 10 seconds after the wire. Double, triple check. Make sure that was the 12.
I mean, and it was one of those things too. Like looking back, like obviously you don't expect him to win that race, but he ran pretty good in the Pegasus, and he ran huge that race. So like he's a horse that just, man, and honestly, National Treasure didn't run bad in the Saudi. So it's like that Pegasus is a pretty solid race from both of them, and then they came back and ran that race. So I don't know if he can stay at it, but I'm hopeful that and what's his name, freaking our horse of the year. Well, I guess almost horse of the year, but Breeders' Cup winner.
Barrio
was not good. That looked like the horse that you're used to seeing before the run last year.
Yep. It did. Chase and fade basically, but he was inside, a lot of dirt in his face. He just didn't fire. We're 1 minute away, folks. So,
woo!
Have
1
you
minute
heard
to
if
post.
Are they taking him to Dubai?
No.
Not okay.
Why Barrio? You mean no?
Yeah.
Nope.
So
Coming home.
We probably won't see him till Saratoga.
Yeah. Coming home. We're getting back to
the good stuff. I got you.
Yeah.
The good feed.
Right. Yeah.
Not that Saudi feed. You gotta get the good feed.
That's right.
Yeah.
Frank says he's hammering Gilmore, $700 across the board. That definitely is hammering. No question.
Especially with an 8-1 shot. Honestly, I did sneak the 8 into my top 4 after the scratches today. I would be a little surprised if he won. Having said that, he does have races under his belt that could win it. That's the one thing you can say about him. When he was running last summer, he was running really, really good. He has not ran really, really good since.
No, I know Rodney on the Discord, and I don't know if he's here or not. If the 8 wins, it's going to be pretty funny. He loves the 8. Magic, you love the 8 too, right?
No, so here's the thing. I was like, when I saw the card come out, I immediately texted Dr. Tank because he loves to bet Gilmore in all these races. And I said, I don't know if you've seen the card yet. I'm going to tell you right now, do not bet Gilmore in this race. Just please do not do that. He goes, oh, don't worry. I'm not betting him this time. And I read that. I went, shit, Gilmore's winning. Doc finally got off of him. Gilmore's going to win. So, yeah.
Yes,
no,
Kevin,
if he wins, everybody else fell down. That's how he wins.
Yes, Kevin. I know it's a bold move to put him in my top 4 out of 5, but I did have to leave somebody out. So I wanted to put 5 in my top 4, but I couldn't. So
this will be interesting if he does get the job done.
I mean, if you just name every horse, you can say that you gave out the winner, right? That's how that works.
That's right.
Yep.
That's
Exactly.
right.
If you go around and then tout other just random horses to everyone different, at least you'll look really smart to some of them, right? So that's what I try to do.
Well, that's the thing. We have 50 different betting Bibles, and so we just send different ones to everybody. So somebody's got to win if we just put all different bets on it, right?
Yeah. When you buy one, you don't know which version you're going to get. It's like roulette. You never know, and then someone will be happy. We might want to consider that, Alterman. We'll think about that.
I know. Yeah.
starving kids in America, and people are betting thousands of dollars on Gulfstream or on Gilmore. Yeah.
Well, that's a good listen. You talk them to the winner's circle sometimes. I wouldn't say that if you need somebody else here. We talked about it on Do Two Bet Daily this morning, Magic. When the gates open, when the game starts, ain't nobody knows shit, right? It's all variance from that point. So when these gates open, anything can happen. Trust me.
7-5 on, honestly, what was he like? 8-5 on the morning line. So he's ticking back up a little bit to where I expected. I'll take it considering you scratched out Witt.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's what was expected, right? So, it's like I don't think you're here yet. We were talking about our Callie Kim. It's like, who made that horse 7-2 on the morning line? Like, you knew that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing here when Witt scratch. It's like, well, he's going to take money now.
Yeah.
So,
who did make that morning line? Jeez.
I don't know.
I think Willie from Oaklawn got a job promotion we didn't know about. No, it's Ron Nicoletti. Isn't Nicoletti do the morning lines now at Gulfstream? It's not Pete anymore. It's Nicoletti.
I thought it was Brian something.
Oh, Brian Nadeau? That's it, yeah.
That's what somebody told me. I don't know if that's true or not.
Somich had said that, yeah. He usually knows his morning line makers because he usually knows who he likes and doesn't.
I'd call that 50-50. Somich
Here we go. That's true. A good question from Curtis so we can kill some time as they're going to the gate here. Who would you take in a head-to-head, Shaq, Diesel, or Gilmore?
Do I have to probably, yeah, I'd probably do if it's a single race. Are you talking about the race itself here or like a one versus one? Because if it's like those two, I'd probably do Shaq. This race I can see Gilmore. We're on the betting Bible. So you guys do a win place format to start with the bankroll. We basically we have a rolling bankroll as far as our percentages go, as far as win bets, exactas, pick threes, whatever. We have a ROI all calculated there that's been running since basically a year now. But every day that we do the bankroll, it's a different. Some days it might be if it's the Oaks or Derbies, we got bigger budgets. $300. We don't really limit ourselves on what we can spend. It's any bet goes. Win, place. I mean, we don't. You could. We don't. Wins. A lot of wins. A lot of exactas. Pick threes, doubles, that kind of stuff is what we typically play.
I'll show you this one because the race is already gone, and they just broke from the gate. But this is what it looked like for the Arcali Kim, for example.
Basically, simplify that. We look at the race, and then where it says my bet, we write down what we're going to bet that race.
Gilmore taking it to Tumbarumba early. Who had that on their bingo card?
Telling you guys are talking Gilmore into this winner's circle.
If he wins, it's Doc's fault. We've already established that. If Gilmore wins, it's Doc's fault for finally getting off of him. Steel Sunshine last. 3-2 favorite over Tumbarumba.
Ooh.
Tumbarumba 8-5.
Tumbarumba looks very well within himself at this spot, though. We'll see though. Gilmore doesn't look half bad.
No, he doesn't. The three's ranging up too.
This 4 is
There's the Gilmore we know and love.
There he is, yeah. But
under a drive, getting past.
Here comes Shaq.
The Steel Sunshine is going off as a favorite and has got some horse.
Yep.
Yeah. He had a horrible trip in that last race. Like he broke from the gate, like he hopped or something.
And then it's 5 home.
Or Miracolo.
Ooh.
Jeez, Paco, what are you doing with this horse? 3's going to win this if Paco doesn't drive him into somebody.
Oh, boy, these horses aren't very good. Come on, left-handed
There he
Zayas.
goes.
Come on.
There he goes.
Left-handed Zayas. Ooh, maybe.
Oh, jeez.
Not sure. Was it 3?
Well, listen,
Magic,
what was it, Pimlico Day? I called the wrong horse last year.
Well,
that was like almost a 13-second final furlong. That's not a good.
Magic, why are you rooting on Steel Sunshine to get home? What are you doing?
Because I want to play the song "Steal My Sunshine" afterwards.
You picked Tumbarumba. We all picked. What are you doing?
I don't know. I didn't bet it. I mean, yeah.
I don't know. I think he got it. I think the 3 got it.
Yeah, 3 got it.
Shit, that sucks. The 5 sucked, really.
I don't want to brag, but my Bible bet just hit. I bet $4. I bet a $1 exacta. 2 horses over 3 horses, $4, and it looks like the will pays are 5, so made $1 on that one.
Hey, all right.
You're really good.
Ooh, that bob right there gives it to the 5. That's interesting.
Depends on the angle.
Is that?
Oh no, they're showing the 3.
They're showing the 3 though.
Yeah, they're showing the 3.
I tell you what, that 5 should have won that by easy, but he fought. That's what I said. Like he's a fighter. He made that. Like, it kind of looked like once he got that 3 got up and on him, it's like he's gonna go on by, but he wouldn't let him by. Damn, made it a lot closer than I thought it was gonna be when the 3 kind of evened up with him.
Yeah, I think
3, 5, 4. I
think end of the day, it's 5 very average to below average horses, and I think Tumbarumba is a really valuable type to own, but he just doesn't have that extra gear. Like, he can't lose this race. I'm watching the overhead replay now. He can't lose from there. He just can't. And he does.
Look, he drifted out big time trying to keep him away, and just couldn't.
Yeah. Oh man,
look at that! Look
Jeez, how many passes did he go over? He just keeps going the whole stretch.
If he loses that race, or if he wins that race,
look at that one.
If he wins that race, he might get DQ'd. There.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Oh, this will be cool. This is a head-on replay they're showing now of Paco. See, Magic.
God, it always amazes me. Look how close they are at 35 miles an hour. They are so close to each other. Oh, every time.
Especially at Gulfstream. Like, how if you're looking at that 5 there, how are you losing that race? You know, like, just bring it home. You'll see a second here where Paco grabs a thing of popcorn. That's on his way on the rail.
You see him start to float out now. Yeah. Wow. Well, good win.
Well.
I think he's going to the Breeders' Cup after that one. Just kidding.
We are down, my friends. That was a $30 bet. That wasn't good.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just glad you got Paco home.
You need to figure out what are you down and what am I up, and we'll figure it all out here. We never heard what you were up.
Oh, I was up $12 before that.
Oh, okay. Well, then we can do the math.
Not really big stuff happening over here.
Okay.
I've lost like 2 bets throughout it, so that's something good. I mean, lost as in like didn't get to go off because of scratches. So
right. That always makes it hard, no doubt.
I really liked, although it wouldn't have not. It's that's one of those cases where it worked out well for me because there's no way that she was going to get second, or going to win when I played the Just FYI and my filly there in that Bonadell. I was like, I was going to play that exact straight, and obviously that wasn't going to happen. So that one saved me because I had a big cold exacta Leslie's Rose over Just FYI.
Well, we got mudded and horrible rain at Aqueduct, and we've got snow on the track at Laurel.
Are you kidding?
I just turned on Laurel, and it's just white. I'm like, either it's snowing or Jamie Ness's shipment got spilled all over the track. One of the two. I can't tell.
Then you have beautiful weather. It's at Gulfstream, and they're all scratching. So
yeah. So the one just won at Aqueduct, which is good for my pick 5. That's good news. I want to see what this big exacta pays here. Let's see. Oh, $5.50. Made $1.50. All right. Feeling good.
Heating up, guys. What are you up, Halterman?
I'm up 57.60 with 2 bets left. So
60 cents. Where'd that come from?
57.60. Yeah.
All right.
So it's gonna be good. I think it could be a decent ROI. Hold on. Where is Laurel? Here we go. And you ain't kidding, man. Look at this track at Laurel. If you're not watching it, flip it over there. It's blinding.
Is it snow or is it so wet and that's just the glare from the?
That's the glare. It's so wet.
Okay.
That's not snow.
I thought it was snow at first.
Could you imagine if the whole track was covered with snow? Come on.
Listen, Jamie Ness is just glad it's not his shipment spilled all over.
I mean, maybe it is snow, but I don't think so.
No, I think you're right.
They let him run. Oh, maybe you've been using the snow. Okay, here we go.
Okay, look at my energy level this show. You know that's not happening.
I was going to say, yeah.
All right, so best bet for dudes who bet daily is the 3, Intrepid Dream.
The rough. How'd it break? Good. Standing straight up.
She's fine. Gosh, she's 6, but look how much bigger she is than everyone else.
She looks like a jockey.
She's like, did we enter a Clydesdale in this race?
I was just going to say, good Lord. Horse looks huge.
So this horse hasn't run since November of 2022, but she has come off of a 450-day layoff before and won. So I wasn't that worried about it. As long as she broke cleanly, I figured she'd have a really solid chance. The only time she's ever lost in her career, she just spotted everybody 14 lengths.
Well,
God, I can't get over how big she is.
I can't get over how all the snow just melted off this track. Well, if she's running as good as she's looking, I mean, she looks. They look like they're just going to cruise around here. This jockey's not serious at all.
Yeah, and she got a good jockey in Javian Toledo aboard. Just watch out. The one I was worried about was the 6, and she's looming up behind her a little bit. Come on, Javian, get on her.
Okay,
There
put
she
away
goes.
the 1.
Watch out for the 6.
Left-handed,
right.
pretty strong. I think
All
she's
right.
got
We
it.
got it.
Oh, yeah.
We got it. All right. Even money, too. I'll take that.
Ooh.
Man.
Even money, dude. Nice price on her, too. Good job.
She was 4-5 when they loaded. That's both of our horses that's happened to where they went up at the last second. All right. We got a winner.
She never for 1 second looked like she was losing that one. She looked great.
No.
Yep. Looked great.
No. Cool.
Look at you.
Well, I'm happy about that. That's my first winner in 2 weeks on YouTube Bet Daily. I was hurting on the show. That I needed that one.
we can confirm it's been a struggle, but you also were on fire before the struggle. So
God, January, yeah. I was as soon as February left, I was like, thank God it's not February anymore. I can start winning again.
Yeah. What's really funny is I could tell Jared was secretly rooting for the 1 after you were rooting against his horse. He's like, come on, 1, re-rally someday.
Come on. Whoever the jockey is on that. Come on, get up there.
Get up there, 1.
I was Frankie
down, 3.
Pennington.
Well, in Halterman, I looked. I was like, well, before I said anything, I was like, let me look, because he's like, that little bastard must have picked that horse. And then I looked, like, no, he had the same horse. What are you doing?
He also thought there was snow all over the track. I'm sorry, man.
I live in Los Angeles. I don't know what any precipitation looks like. To me, it's all the same.
No, you're from Michigan, Magic.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to let you.
You should know better than we.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. Yeah, I saw a comment down here somewhere. Yeah, Ron, it's tough, man, because honestly, we post the originals are posted, like 2 days ahead, like Thursdays, and obviously, we personally can adjust those things, and sometimes we will fluctuate or put in there like, hey, don't bet if this horse is 4-5 or lower or whatever. But it's tough when you have to publish it a couple days ahead of time, and then obviously, because I'm with you, I look at Will Pays and we'll make those bets. And sometimes I do that with the best bets page where I'll just literally be playing it live and you just kind of have to update it. But playing these, especially when you have a PDF, and it's tough.
I think something to kind of just keep in mind, whether you look at our free picks or you look at the YouTube videos or you buy a premium product, the Bible, Somobombs, Rockets, any of it, anything you look at, you do have to keep that in mind, right? That
like, don't bet it blindly.
Yeah, we can't be right there with you and telling you what to do every race. You still have to make decisions. You need to use it as, okay, here's what the guys thought yesterday when they uploaded this. 3 horses have now scratched out of it, and now there's a lone speed, and they have it third. Well, maybe you elevate that one to first now, right? So it unfortunately, it's just not an exact science. And like Jared said, we have done many things to try to help you with that when it's like, oh, we're not sure about these odds. So if the odds are this, do that, everything like that. So we do the best we can. But at the end of the day, you just never know what the odds are actually going to be. And that's the toughest thing about doing horses versus doing sports. Sports, you look at a list, here are the odds, this is the thing. It doesn't change. If it does, it's very minor. In racing, it fluctuates just incredibly. So we do the best we can, but there's always going to be, situations where the race drastically changed versus what we saw when the card came out.
Well, yeah, and it's so annoying too with the scratches. Like, Ron, like there's a lot of times that that's why. I mean, not the only reason why, but a lot of times when Halterman, like on big days, we used to go to every, we'd fly out to the Florida Derby, we'd fly out to the Fountain Youth, or whatever. We'd go out, and it's like, well, we don't make it to the track till race 4 because the scratches don't come out until 2 minutes before the first post, and then we're having to go back through it all and update it. And obviously, we're not going to just. It sucks when you waste a race, like when you are all in on some sort of straight exacta or a win or whatever, and then that horse scratches, and then it completely changes up not just that race, but it changes up the entire bankroll, because everything was kind of your large percentage of that day was going to go through that race, and then all of a sudden you went from having a $200 total bankroll that day down to 120 or something, and so it just kind of changes everything. And then maybe you would have liked to put that money elsewhere, whatever. So yeah, the scratches are a pain in the ass for sure. Those late scratches.
Yep, 100%, 100%. It's so frustrating, especially on the big races. Like, remember last year, Jared, the Santa Anita Derby, you had a great bet that was your most exciting bet, and Go Rock the Ride scratched.
Dude, I literally was thinking of that when I was talking just now. Like, because that was, and that's the other thing too. Like, that was gonna hit. I don't know. It was gonna hit. I know it was going to hit. I know it was. Don't tell me it wasn't. So, that one I loved. And yeah, so sometimes that sucks for sure.
Yep. No, it did. But I mean, look, the bottom line is we can complain, but at the end of the day, we do update it. You do get new horses, and then it's really just kind of up to you to kind of, okay, let's go on and let's see what we can do here with what we've got now, So, but yeah, and again, you got a window of about an hour to get that stuff out, so that's another problem too. You can't sit there and just diddle daddle because people want what they want. So, would you advocate for fixed odds? Yes, absolutely.
Totally. 1,000%.
We're all moving to Colorado, right? The news that they're going to have fixed odds horse racing, first state. It's not a far move for you guys, actually.
I think at the end of the day, if you bet sports and then you bet this, you understand how much tougher it is to bet odds that fluctuate greatly. Not only 10 minutes to post, 5 minutes to post, but they've left the gate and your bet's already in, and you waited till 0 minutes to post, and you still lost money on your bet. And I'm not talking about losing the bet. I'm meaning losing value of your bet even when it wins.
Yeah,
that is disgusting. And for example, just because I had it on a best bets today and played it, the Winnipeg Jets at plus 120 was one of my plays today. So if I bet them at plus 120 and then the game starts and they're minus 120, I don't want to play them anymore. Right? But that doesn't happen in sports, but that certainly could happen here.
I mean, it just feels like you should be rewarded for taking an opinion on a horse.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you really liked that horse at, on Tuesday or whenever, not God forbid we get a post positions drawn before Thursday, but whenever it is, if you like it and you hammer it, then you should get those odds, and then instead of letting especially this day and age, letting the computer fluctuate those odds to where you, like you said, Alterman, you don't even know your odds you're getting until halfway through the race.
Yep.
It's kind of wild when you think about it that way. And it's like when you try to explain that, and I think we all that are in here probably have had to try to explain that to somebody, a friend or a family member they're like, oh, what do you mean? You don't like, what odds do you get? Well, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Like, well, this is the odds now, but you're not going to get that. And they're like, what does that mean? It's like, it makes no sense.
And yeah, I mean, and the bottom line is sports bettors, they want to go place a bet, and that I'm holding the ticket and it's printed on my ticket or on my phone. I know maybe I'm being old school, but it shows me if I win this bet, this is how much I'm getting back from it. Right. Until we can have that happen for more people and more often, you're not going to get that conversion because they're going to look at it like I just laid out with the Winnipeg Jets today. I'm betting it because of the price. And that's a lot of times with racing, you're doing the same thing. You're betting this horse, maybe you like the horse short, but then the price drives you to the horse and then they break from the gates and you lose one of your major aspects for why you're wagering on that horse. So to me, it's a no-brainer. But will it ever happen? It's happened in Colorado, so maybe that's a start.
Things tend to get legalized in Colorado first before the rest of the country catches on.
True.
I'll just say that Colorado's always ahead of the trend.
You're not wrong.
These odds in this race are nice. Coming up here, Emanuel at 3-1, 7-2 on Smoke and Tea. I'm looking at the exactas, the wheel pays. I mean, gosh, you're getting 3/2. Exactas playing 14-1. The 2/3 is paying 14-1.
Wow.
Yeah, the prices are great on these exactas.
That is surprising. I thought that would be less. Do you think it's because you've got Emanuel coming back from the layoff and people are a little concerned?
Yeah, I think it's that, and just I think it just tells you more than anything that no one knows how to bet this race. No one can tell between the two, and so you're getting the better price. Yeah, I mean, and another thing too is like Emanuel isn't. I picked him to win, but I also he's not a world beater.
You could see a world in which he doesn't win this off the bench. Yeah, I know a lot of people for the Magic Mike show when we covered this were huge on Siege of Boston and his 8-1 morning line. He's now 9-2. He was 4-1 for a second. Did either of you guys consider him seriously in this? Because I didn't.
I had him fourth, I think, third or fourth. I had him fourth. Yeah, I thought I didn't hate him or anything like that, but I didn't love him.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't think I even used him in my top four, to be honest with you. So Saratoga Flash was my fourth horse outside of the. Mm-hmm. I got Ice Chocolate, Chocolat in second. I got Smoking Tea third. So I played I played a little bit of different bets, win bets, and I like the exactas as well. Those, especially looking at those exacta prices, exactas over the 10 and the 2. I like those. I'm going in on Emanuel here. Definitely could get me beat, but I just don't like any of the other ones enough to play on top.
Aaron, what's the chances Saratoga Flash goes gate to wire here?
I don't think it's going to happen. Where did he go? He left. I don't think it's going to happen. I do think.
What do you think? And then he goes, yes.
I know. He set it up so he could go to the bathroom, I guess. I do think he's a horse that's going to get the lead, but I don't really think that horse is going to go gate to wire. I don't know. Did you think so?
No, but like I said, I used him in my top 4 just because I thought I kind of think that he's going to be hanging around. I think he's going to run. I mean, I like him enough to play underneath. He'll be a pace factor, and then maybe get swallowed up by a few of these. But listen, he's ran well at Gulfstream Park. He runs well at this distance, so I think he could get a piece of it for sure. Saratoga Flash, but I'd be a little surprised if he won the race. Emanuel, to me, this is the class level that he probably belongs in. This is certainly the surface, and he likes Gulfstream Park, where he's won one for one at Gulfstream. So I think he's going to be tough here, Emanuel. But the Pletcher horses haven't ran super well today. No, I mean they haven't looked great.
It might just be because they're not very good.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing we got to kind of keep in mind, and I'm guilty of it too. It's like you get in this thing, it's like, man, these Pletcher horses just start running, and then you look at them though, and they're like, well, maybe they're just not very good. I think, he did win. Which race he won? I know he won one or
BU. He won with
BU. Yeah,
he won with BU.
Speaking of not very good, I mean that horse winning.
And he looked good when he did it. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, that horse winning is a bad sign for the rest of those horses in that race, though, because he was really struggling to get the job done in a lot of his other races. But I don't know.
Fun fact about this race is, because obviously you should know it, but you look at a horse like a Tone, who I almost get tricked into betting every single time. I've gotten smart enough now to where I haven't, but there for a while I was picking this horse every single time, and then being wrong, I'd pick him, and then he would be, he goes on to win the Pegasus. Hasn't won a race since the Pegasus.
Yeah.
And frankly hasn't gotten close to winning a race since the Pegasus. What do you make of a Tone? He's an overlay now.
I guess the price is probably right to try him, but I can't do it. I can't do it. I've never liked him, and I just can't do it.
Yeah.
He
got lucky in one big race, and everything kind of fell together for him, and then he got fourth in the Pegasus this year, third or fourth, but the entire pace collapsed in front of him, and it set up for him. You got a beautiful ride from Murphy too.
Yeah, he was. He had ran some okay races before that Pegasus. He won that allowance race going into it, and then then he kind of. I mean, so there for a while, there for a couple of races, he looked like a decent horse, and then I mean, he just he's been bad since. But hey, he's won 1.3 million. But when you see that 5-2 morning line, I'm like, no, can't do it. I mean, at 6-1, I'm still not doing it, but he becomes a little more appealing because he does have the back class, I suppose. But maybe the clock has ended for him.
I do think he's in a race he can compete with. Like, there's not really. I don't know. I think Emanuel's a better horse than a Tone, but do we get like a good version of Emanuel? I think is questionable. I think we're going to, but it is in question. But after that, it's just like, he can compete with these, but I don't have any interest in him anymore.
Let's see, 5-2 on Emanuel, 4-1 on Smoking Tea. So money's starting to creep in over there on Emanuel. I mean, the fact that Irad, is which is not a real surprise with this being the only Todd Pletcher in the race, but Irad staying put there. This is a horse that he's ever since they've made that transition on Emanuel to the turf. It's really only been the makers. He was not good. The Saratoga Derby and then the 4-Star Dave last time. So he's been one of those weird horses that it's like he's looked really, really good, and then other races he looks bad. I think the biggest factor for me, what do you see in those races where he hasn't looked very good? Notice anything? Grade 1s. This is not that kind of horse. He's the grade 3s. He runs really, really well. So to me, like I said earlier, this is like hitting them right between the eyes. This kind of race. Yeah,
I agree, and I think he, you look at who he beat last year in this race. I think they were better horses overall. Maybe comparable, but I think they're a little bit better. But this is his first start off the layoff instead of it being his second last year. But to be clear, his first race off the layoff last year was a grade 3 win, as Jared said. So, it does kind of ease your mind that this horse can fire off the bench, right? So similar layoffs too. Yep.
And August to February and August to March, really. So
Yep. And you're right. Those grade 1 races, the Maker's Mark, he never really had a chance. He broke horrible in that race. Look, the 4-Star Dave, Casa Creed, Annapolis. I mean, those are really, really good horses. So if he's ready to fire, he's gonna run. He's gonna be very tough to beat.
Also, like this race last year, of course, and then the race before it, the Tampa Bay Stakes, they were both mile on the 16th, which is what they're running today. Like he's 2 for 2 at this distance. So combination, what Jared was saying, like the grade 3 race, the pace set up, like the distance, it's all hitting him right where he needs to be.
Yeah, for sure. He's an interesting horse. Like you can just tell. You just look at him. Just. I mean, we know him, right? But you just glanced at the past performances. You're like, this is a horse that's been an issue,
Yeah.
Because he's start him on the dirt. He looks like a Derby contender. Then all of a sudden he's not, and then he goes back to the turf and wins back or wire to wire on his turf debut. Then he can't win in grade 1s, and then he's it's just kind of been all over the place. He was winning gate to wire. Now he's coming from out of it. It's just you can tell has had long layoffs. He's just been a very interesting horse.
So I have a theory to run by you guys.
Ooh. Okay. An Austin theory?
No, definitely not.
What?
Peace up, 8 down. All right, so we're talking about horse racing and how things are weird. The horse racing gods, somebody has upset them greatly. Because you sit here and you're looking at Gulfstream with beautiful weather, and horses are scratching left and right. You got 5 and 6 horse fields. It's like, why are these horses scratching? Then you go, well, you know what? You know what's great? Aqueduct's got a huge field for their race. You flip over to Aqueduct. It's raining so hard you can barely see the horses. They're in a delay. Like it says 0 minute to post, but they're still in the paddock walking around. You go out to San Antonio's like they got a monster out there. It may be a horse exhibition, but there's the monster. He's scratching, and it's raining there as well. I think the horse gods are super pissed about something. I don't know what it is.
It's weird. It's we're in a weird time right now.
We are.
I don't know that, really, if you look at the last year, really, it's been a really weird time. When you look at the summer we had with Saratoga and what happened out there, and then of course, all the different kind of storylines, and then Baffert not being able to run still, and then, like you said, the Baffert that looks like a monster is now, who knows what his deal is. And yeah, I don't know, but if you believe in the horse gods, which you have to in this game,
yeah, I do.
Someone's done something,
it's all because Baffert suits Baffert's. No, actually, it's because CDI still banned Baffert when they shouldn't have. That's why.
Oh.
CDI feels like the root of the problem here, right? They've done fucked up enough to where the horse gods are like, all right, listen.
I have a different theory if you guys are interested.
Come on with this too.
I mean, you keep asking if we're interested. We're interested in the theories. So
I think I know who did it. I think I know when it started.
Okay.
Did your 2 win, Magic? Hold on.
No, and he's probably going to lose. And I knew I should have canceled the bet because I never go 3 for 3 with my best bets. Come on with this 2.
He's not.
Come on with this 2.
Come on.
Come on.
He's ahead. Come on.
Come on.
We're watching Golden Gate if anybody wants to. Come on.
Come on. Wire. Get to the wire. This 4 is going to beat him.
No, he's not.
Nope.
Oh, he got it. I think you got it.
I think you got it, man. Wait, he was begging.
14 seconds for the final furlong. Jesus, I could have finished that race faster.
I listen. You belong in an OTB somewhere out in Western New York. The way you're yelling for a 4 to 5 in the second at Golden Gate.
Yeah,
$4,000 N1L or N2L claimer race. By the way, yeah.
I don't know if he got it, Magic. Yeah. I don't know if he won.
I don't know either.
He got a horrible.
I'll take a dead heat at this point. Anything, something.
I think it was close. Was it that close?
Ooh, I think he got it.
That was a better angle.
Yeah,
that was a better angle.
Yeah.
Dude, he was begging for that.
Oh, okay, we got it. The nose was like that far ahead.
He was begging for that horse to pass him.
Oh.
Okay, well.
Yeah, they gave it to him. All right.
So anybody, I just want to say something. Anybody that buys Magic's best bets, this is him every day. So buy his best bets. Just know one thing. He is living and dying with this. Is nothing new. He'll call me on the phone and do this. If we're getting ready to do a show, he's doing this.
Just
saw him today. His hair was like flew out like this. I mean, it was awful. So good job, Magic.
And my best price of the 3 winners is the one I gave out on the show. This is the horse racing gods are nice to me today, but we blame Rapoli.
But on that, if you go back and watch Magic's Angel of Empire video before the Kentucky Derby last year, that's what started it. Because if you remember, nobody had scratched at that point. You put out that video, then all the horses started scratching, and the year was really going well. Like remember, like Forte might be the real deal. Angel of Empire. He sings in that video, and everything's went to hell since. But maybe you just redeemed yourself right there.
Blaming Magic seems like the most plausible cause, I think. So
yep.
That's okay. Listen, that's what I'm paid. I'm paid to be the dog that you just kick under the table, right?
Yeah. We like to take credit for all the good stuff and then blame Magic for all the bad stuff. That's kind of usually how it goes.
It works.
So. Curtis, you're so right. Like can you imagine if Santa Anita with their rain? I mean, they would have canceled till summer.
The 4th of July.
Meanwhile, you flash over to Aqueduct and they're running those fuckers race after race.
Get them out there.
It's fine. It's just a little rain.
So they are on the track.
Santa Anita smells rain and they cancel.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how scared they are out of Santa Anita.
Man, the Aqueduct looks terrible.
It's bad. Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say they are out there, but it looks
if they
bad.
didn't have a Derby prep as the last race, which this is why you don't do that, they probably would cancel these last two races.
Let me ask you this, Magic, and Haltern both, but Magic, you being out there and being a big Santa Anita guy, like, do you think that the quick responses or even the early, knee-jerk reactions for Santa Anita to cancel is because it's almost like they're scarred from what happened and they don't want to risk it, like having such bad track with a couple years ago, or is the track actually an issue? Do you think it's more out of fear or more out of like that we know we can't run these horses on these kind of surface?
It's a good question. I would say it's more out of fear of what has happened in the past. They actually have it built into their the race dates contract that they have with the state, that they are allowed a certain amount of days that they can just cancel and reschedule on a different day. And that was built in because of partly for that to help them out with it. I will say, even though it's not raining right now outside, and when I took the dogs out this morning, I saw the sun out and I thought, did they just cancel for no reason? And then took one step into the grass and my foot sunk way down in. The turf course would have been shit for the two graded stakes, including a grade 1. The weather's not nice. It's been kind of like that spitty, misty rain in the air for most of the day. And this is a big day for them on track-wise. Other than the Santa Anita Derby and the Malibu, this is one of their biggest on-track days of the entire meet. So if nobody's going to show up and drink your beer and eat your overpriced sandwiches and bet on the track, like, you guys are both marketing guys. That's just hundreds of thousands of dollars they would have been pissing away. So now you move to Sunday, which, it's the Lord's day, but the Lord says go race at Santa Anita, apparently. So, yeah, I to answer your question, I think it's mostly out of fear because, like I said, they have it built in that they're allowed to just cancel a day, reschedule it, and not have an issue.
Okay. I think it was pretty bad. They about shut the whole sport down when it happened. So, I could see how they're taking a little bit of precautionary out of it, but it always amazes me when it's like Wednesday and it's like, oh, we're canceling Saturday and Sunday's card. You're like, whoa! I didn't know they drew the card yet.
Let me step in. I love that. Please keep doing that.
Yes,
please. I'm begging you.
As someone that occasionally takes over scratches, updating scratches for Aaron, I can also confirm. Like, I had to deal with Fairgrounds today, and I remember from Risen Star Day, they just started rolling them out one at a time. I refreshed Fairgrounds, like, oh, just 5 races, they have scratches. I go about my business. 10 minutes later, I refresh the page, and there's a whole new set. And I was like, God damn it, this is so stupid. So yes, totally understand what Aaron has to deal with.
Parks is the champion of canceling their race or their day 20 minutes before the first post. And people are emailing me like, hey, they canceled. I was like, yes, I know. I'll get you refunded. You're trying to take it off the site as quick as possible so nobody else buys it. Just like, guys, you knew it was going to be 2 degrees today. Like, why did you even do this? Yeah. Penn National's bad about that too. At the Tom Fool's happening here at Aqueduct, if anybody cares, it's a Super Chow in the lead.
I think Rodney's got it, though.
Does he? He's all over the place.
Jesus. Rodney's going, why am I racing in this shit?
Who's this? This is Manny Wah.
Manny Wah.
He's kind of flattening, though. I think Super Chow's got it.
Super Chow's got it. Super Chow went about 8 paths out. Well, look it's a damn river on the rail. No wonder Super Chow went outside.
They're all
Dude, look
out
at
of
that.
it.
Holy cow. Keep an eye on that track. Holy shit. That looks awful.
That's good if you like the 10 just a touch because in the Gotham, because as long as Flo keeps him like 6 paths out the entire time, he'll have clear running. Just don't go inside.
Yeah, definitely not. Post time at the Gulfstream too, by the way.
All right, final picks. Jared's on Emanuel. I'm on Emanuel. Aaron, who are you on?
Emanuel.
Oh boy.
All right, there we go. We're all on it. Yeah, Jared, you and I saw this race pretty similar. We like Smoking Tea and Ice Truck a lot as well.
Yep, I like either one of those two. I think could win as well. Wouldn't be shocked.
Nobody made a case for the Chad Brown Tyler Gaffleone on turf at 9-1.
I do. I've got him.
You've got him. Okay.
I've got him in the exacta. Yep.
Okay. I as far as winning goes, I don't know about his buyers, but his time forms last year, all 4 were within like a point or 2 of each other, and he never took a step forward. In his one race without Lasix was his worst, and that's kind of the situation he's in. But
Wire to wire.
Chad Brown on turf.
I don't like that the money. It's Chad Brown on the turf, and not one. You didn't attract any of the Ortiz boys, and you're getting like a no action. So,
well, the one's gonna have the lead. Emanuel's got a perfect spot to sit.
Yep, perfect. What all do you have here, Jared? A win and what?
A win. I got the win on Emanuel, and also have on the best bets. I've got Emanuel over 2 and 10.
Ooh,
2. Okay.
Smoking T's in a rough spot. He got kind of pinched down and behind the 1 there a little bit.
Yeah.
This 8 wants to run.
Yeah. Emanuel looks really good there. I mean,
yeah, he's just cruising.
Irad backed off because he was stuck in the middle of the 2 and the 8 there. And he said, "I'm not going to get screwed over by this," and backed the horse up.
Yeah, and they're moving steady there. It's not, Saratoga Flash is putting up some fractions, so.
Yeah, I think it's there for the 2 or the 3 or whoever. Here comes Emanuel.
Yeah. Irad still has a bunch of rain.
How fresh is he off the bench with this?
Oh boy, the 2 scraping the paint here. This is gonna be interesting.
Whoa!
Oh, Emanuel looks like $1 million. Kick it
Go,
off.
Bubba! Go, Bubba! Go, Bubba! Go, Bubba! There you go.
Oh, maybe not. Come on.
Who is that coming? Siege of Boston. Boy, everybody's favorite horse is it's gonna make it close, but I think Emanuel's got it.
Second, Emanuel's got it. There you go. Good job, Jared. That's 5-2.
3-5-10.
That's very good.
2 on a $30 win.
Hey now!
We are up for the day, guys, and we're good. We're in the black.
Everybody's good now.
5-2.
Back in black.
5-2. That's crazy.
Too much. Too much, Magic.
Crazy.
Too much, Magic.
Sorry. I'll shut up.
Where's Noah, my baby, at, Magic?
Noah, my baby.
There we go, baby. There we go.
3, 5, and I believe the 10
Yep.
was third.
3, 5, 10, 1.
3, 5, 10, 1.
I needed that 10 to get up there.
Man.
He looked good the whole race. You mentioned it, Jared. He looked good. He just looked like a winner.
Yeah, he looked like a win, and then he just maybe just off the bench a little bit there. Just looked a little like didn't kick away much. Kind of never gave me I thought he had it. At the same time, I was like, just hang on, get there. But yeah, he looked good. This is his level. But here's the problem with him, and maybe eventually he'll get there. But it's like he runs these kind of races in these level of races, and it makes you think that hey, he's a good really like. We'll send him to a grade 1 next, and he won't run well. So he's a frustrating horse, I'm sure, because do you just keep running him in these kind of races, and that's it,
I guess. I think there's nothing wrong with going down there and winning that race. Races like that. I guess that's what you're gonna do. Yeah, you're gonna keep him there. But again, when they go up to New York, you're gonna have to run him against better. It's just that simple.
Yeah, I know. I mean, and that's just it. Like, and it's Pletcher, it's Irad. Like, the connections are strong. I mean, they're gonna probably keep firing.
Yep, no doubt about it.
Did you bet? What'd you bet there? Did you have a win on him?
No, I had a 2, 3, 4 exacta box.
Ooh.
And I had the 5 and 4th. So if I would have flipped that 4 and 5, it would have been an exacta, but that's all right.
By the way, the Chad Brown on turf, second to last, possibly last. Yeah, did not run a step at all. That Turf King was a turd king, more likely.
Yep, he ranged up and then totally went backwards.
Everybody was getting on a tone. He finished 5th. Couldn't even catch Saratoga Flash.
You can keep chasing, Rob. I would not advise that.
Yeah, I don't understand why you would bet a tone next time. To be honest.
Maybe if he goes back to an allowance.
Okay, if he's in an allowance, he'll probably be. I hope he does, because he'll be way over bet.
Even then,
find somebody.
I'm honestly on a tone. I'm at the just total let him beat me situation for him. I cannot bet. I'm okay with being beat by him. at this point.
Yeah.
I was there like 6 months ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Rodney, I've got the 7 in second, so I'm not going to root for you too much. But if I'm wrong, I hope the 7 does mean. I got 6-7 straight in the next one, I think.
Ooh.
But we're up. We're up for the day, no matter what happens. I only got that's the last bet I have. It's only $10 straight exactus, so we are in the black no matter what, boys and girls.
Yep. I think after that we're both probably up around, I don't know. I can't do your math in my head, but
that could be what, $75?
Yeah, and I think you were down what, 20?
Down 20, so I'm up, 50 something. So
I think we're both in the 50s then.
there we go.
So yeah, perfect. And I'm the same way. I just got one bet left too. So
You got a win on Chili Flag, right?
I do. I did bet a Chili Flag to win. Yep. But
And I have Chili Flag as my top pick in the next one, and my pick 5 ticket, which is scratched down to $54 from the Magic Mike show, still alive with 3 horses and then 2 horses. So
Hey, and for those who followed best bets on the website, $100 to win on Emanuel there. So
hey now,
very good.
good day for the best bets. Just hope the Richmond Spiders don't throw up a dunk.
I know he's hit 2 in a row this week too. So he's due to. We needed to help him today, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But hopefully he can get it. That would, if he gets this one, it may be like 8 in a row, I think, for him on the show.
Jeez,
so
Man,
yeah. Richmond Spiders. I don't know how he's doing with the other ones today. Haven't checked.
supposedly there's 19 minutes to post for the Gotham. I don't know if we're supposed to believe that or not, just because of how delayed they got.
If you want to flip to Oaklawn real quick, it's 6 minutes to post, and Ethan Energy, Awesome Road, and Time for Truth all running in this allowance. So
you want to flip over to make me feel like shit? Okay, I was doing so great, Aaron.
I know you were in a lot better mood, and you picked up that Golden Gate horse, got you going. But I really want to
listen. If the fantasy league was a bunch of 4K claimers at bum ass tracks like around the country, I feel like you and I would be like co-champions every year. But
definitely, we know Mahoning Valleys and the Golden Gates and the turf paradises of the world. There's no question about that.
Let me just tell you, Magic. You know why? Because no one cares about those horses except for you. And now Ultimate.
Hey, a 3 to 5 at those tracks pays the same as a 3 to 5 at Gulfstream and Santa Anita. And they're a lot easier to get to.
I got 1 or 2 people that buy those $20 best bets when on Mondays and Tuesdays, and they love them some Mahoning Valleys. So.
Some that try to steal credit cards and buy them too. So
that's true too. Yes, we do have our fair share of that going on. Unfortunately,
hey, you know what? That does tell you there are people that like it. So
that's right. That's right. Now the great news is the best small track of all opens up on Monday.
Oh no,
Will Rogers down.
Yeah, buddy.
I think I'll go out there.
Home of the $1.
Go say hi to John for me. All right, race 8 at Oaklawn. This is a 3-year-old allowance race going 2 turns. Could be a setup for either the Arkansas Derby or the Bathhouse Row, whatever the ungraded stakes is that they have for 3-year-olds later. But Aaron, your top pick was not the 5 Ethan Energy. It's the 10 Time for Truth, who right now is the favorite with a few minutes to post here. Tell us why you liked the 10 here off of a stakes second place.
Yeah, he's stretching out in distance for the first time. I think he's going to get the lead, and I think Ethan Energy and Awesome Road suck. So those were the big reasons there. Also, if you think like Time for Truth, how do I know that horse? He actually was entered last week in the Arkansas Derby and scratched out of it. He was all the way to the outside, if you remember. And so anyway, I thought this is a much better spot. Of course, he draws the outside again, but don't get too worried about that. The 1 is scratched, the 4 is scratched. So he's actually going to break from the 8 hole. So he'll be fine. So if he breaks well, I think he clears, and then just see how far he can take him.
I feel like Brad Cox is the king of having horses debut at Ellis Park at 2 and looking so awesome, and then he brings them anywhere else, and they're just not good. And that's what you've got with Awesome Road, who's 7-2, but I think that's more a testament to this field than anything else there. Ethan Energy had he had a nice race 2 back at Fairgrounds to win on the Gunrunner Stakes day, won by 5 1/4, went to the Lecompton, did not run very well. I mean, he got beat by Nash in lat long. That's not usually something you want to put on your resume as a positive, but he's here. I just want him to run well and go back to a stakes race and give me something for claiming his ass.
I want him to lose, so.
Well, all right.
There's
a reason I didn't make him a best bet. How about that?
Well, because you're not that dumb. But
I only put best bets on at Oaklawn if they're Arkansas breds, and that has not failed me yet. So
okay, yeah, rub that in my face, you asshole. Yeah, okay. I see how we're gonna play the rest of this show. All right, Magic. Hey, I can play that game. That's fine.
I wasn't a shot at you. It's the one time I've gone to Oaklawn, I played an Arkansas bred.
It felt like a little bit of a shot at him.
Yeah, it was a shot. I know you took a shot at me. I did that too. You make fun of me. To be serious, for the 2 Universal Sound for Asmussen, that's one I didn't love, but he's taking a lot of money. So these Cox horses, not to be a downer, they're not getting bet.
No. I mean, which one sucks more? Ethan Energy or Awesome Road?
Boy, I think it's Awesome Road.
Yeah. Energy's at least got Christian Torres riding. That made me go, hey, maybe he's got a small chance in here.
Yeah.
You get the best, arguably the best jockey in here. Santana's on that. What about the 2 Universal Sound? He's not breaking from the rail, but just one start. It was at Turfway on the synthetic, but he looked good. It was 6.5, so breeding says he should stretch out. Where did you have the 2?
I didn't really love the 2, but kind of the unknown. You kind of pointed out why he's kind of the unknown. You just don't, I got him in 3rd. I put him in 3rd. I went 10, 5, 2, 3. So I have Awesome Road in 4th. So, but I didn't really look at that 2 and go, okay, this is going to be a big one here for Asmussen. But sometimes he'll do this. He'll sneak up and get you with one. It's like, wow, where'd that horse come from? I remember I was down there
2 weeks ago.
I know. Well, I remember clear as day. My dad and I were down there when I believe it was Creator, when Creator broke his maiden, and he hadn't done anything. And we were watching the post parade, and my dad goes, "My God, that horse hasn't ran very well, but my God, does he look amazing?" And he broke his maiden, and he looked really good. And then he came back and won, Arkansas Derby. So sometimes, he'll just pop with one and it'll work out. Maybe this is one, who knows? He's got Ricardo on board, which tells me they're serious about this one. So we'll see how it runs.
I want to go to this real quick. There's 0 minutes to race for 8. So for race 8 at Oaklawn. But Ross asking about Abel Cedillo. He was scheduled to ride in the Gotham for Doug O'Neill. He doesn't have a license to ride in New York, which I didn't realize. I know trainers have to be licensed in different states. I didn't realize jockeys did too. Oh, yeah. Okay, it's 2000. So many reasons. Why is this a thing? Well, how do you not get a ride in the Gotham because of a licensing issue?
Let me give you some insight on licensing, because as an owner, I've had to get a license in many different states over the last 10 years. Some states you get online, you fill out something, and then they send you the license. Like Arkansas and Kentucky, you can get an owner's license, and it's the same. You go to the same places for owners, jockeys, trainers, all of it, right? You fill it out, you have it in 2 seconds. Some states, Iowa, Indiana, you have to go get fingerprinted. You have to go. I swear to God, I've been fingerprinted twice my whole life, and it was to get an Iowa and an Indiana horse racing license, an owner's license. So if New York, it sounds like maybe New York is a tougher place to get a license. If you don't have your ducks in a row, I could see where that would happen. I'm not shocked.
What? What? It's 2000. What? You have
and
to,
Ron,
I've been fingerprinted. I've been fingerprinted for the for my TSA pre-check, but that makes sense. That's a security thing. Yeah. The hell are these corn-fed boys going to be worried about in Iowa and Indiana?
It's insane, and they sit there, they take your fingerprints right there. They've got they got the kit, and you go in there and you do it. I mean, it's crazy, and it's like, why? So I can run a horse at your racetrack? I've got to come all the way up there, take fingerprints, fill out this long application. It was nuts. I mean, they were nice, but they're off, by the way, at Oaklawn. But
Yeah, and Ethan Energy's last. All right, good start. You guys tell me how this goes. I just turned it off.
It's a big dick energy you're looking for.
We tried giving him extra Viagra in his feed, but he's still pretty flaccid.
The 7 gets out in front here.
Yeah, which is probably best for the 10. Give him a horse to kind of get after because he's stretching out for the first time. The 6 doesn't want to settle down. Hey, Ethan Energy's somehow in 4th already? What? They went 23-1, and he's in 4th from last. How fast is that horse going? Jeez.
Who did he put Torres? Oh, yeah. Well, he's ranging up.
He's ahead of Awesome Road, at least. We got that going for us.
Yeah, where's the 2? Here comes the 2 kind of outside there.
Yeah.
This is gonna be interesting. I don't know.
You're getting the oh shit sound effect ready. That's what that sounded like.
Oh, here comes a 10.
Yeah.
5 is in trouble.
Yeah.
Oh, this
he went way too fast early and isn't able to hold on for the long haul.
Come on, Mocat. You can't lose from there. Come on, Mocat. I say, come on, Mocat, maybe once every 5 years. This is one time. Come on, Mocat. Get up there.
Torres is looking behind him for a way to get out on the 5. He's like,
I'll tell you what. That's a pretty good horse Mocat has right here. I think he's okay.
Getting a little tired.
Geez, Ethan Energy's re-rallying? How?
Yeah, Mocat's horse is not going to go the Arkansas Derby distance.
No.
But that's good. We'll take it.
Hey, it's a top pick winner for Aaron Haltzman over racingdudes.com.
Oh, man.
Jared, confirm or deny, Ethan Energy is something that you yell to the turtles.
I'm not going to comment on that one.
Well, that's not fun.
The hell are you on this show for then?
Yeah, what the hell?
Because I don't even know what you just asked. That's probably the best way. Confirm joined the turtle? Oh, at the soccer turtles.
Yes, you dummy.
What other turtles are we talking about? Gilmore we got done talking about a while ago, so.
You know how many Ninja Turtles I have in my life right now? Like, okay. Once that season ended, they're dead to me. Okay? I don't even think about it anymore. So
good.
I was although let me just breaking news. You guys first to know this. We are the soccer turtles are going to be shifting to the flag football turtles.
Oh, okay.
Cohen has gotten into the football now, so he's
thank God, right?
So happy, so happy. And I grew up playing soccer, but I'm over it. For one, he's way better. He's like the size of like we have some kids in our neighborhood that are 8 to 10. He's bigger than all of them. Like it's like, dude, you should be playing football.
Yeah.
And he's better than all of them. So I'm happy about it.
Good.
But I'm happy about it. I will be yelling to be Big E energy at him as well. So don't worry.
Well, it's still raining at Aqueduct.
God, it looks so miserable. I don't even feel bad for the horses. I feel bad for the people that are out there, like the grooms and hot walkers that are getting paid like $3 for the day to be out there doing this in the horrible weather.
I feel bad for Maggie.
She's probably hiding safely inside somewhere. Or did you mean because she has to work with Andy Serling? That's fair.
Yes, both. I don't know. I don't have anything. I don't have a problem with him. I really don't. Just a touch as 8-5.
Ugh.
This exacta here at Gulfstream would be amazing. 6 and 7, or that 6-7 exacta is paying nice.
What's it paying?
It's like let me look again. Last I looked, it was like $17. 6 over 7, $17. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be just fine.
I mean,
Jesus,
even 5 to 2
5
if you like chili if you like chili flag at 5 to 2, that's fine.
Yeah. Shit, I'll take that.
So I guess we're at the point now that we talked about this on Blinkers Off. You guys follow us on Blinkers Off. You know, I always bring up the over under for every Derby prep, and obviously this is a Derby prep that we're about to watch here at Aqueduct. I mean, especially with the track, man. Like, is there really much that comes out of this? Because like El Grando were to win, we know that he doesn't want to go longer, right? We kind of saw that last time, and so not a lot. I mean, to me, it's one of these Brad Cox horses that could. I mean, and only really those two. I guess Deterministic could be one. I don't know. But with the track, it makes it tricky to get excited about any of them as far as what we see from it as it relates to the Derby Trail.
Yeah, well put. I don't have a lot of hopes for these. That being said, you never know until they run them. I'm not going to make that statement like, boom, shut door, that's it. I don't care about this race. But on paper, it doesn't look like there's a lot of Derby hopefuls in here. But, I mean, it's a 1 mile, 1 turn, 1 mile, So it has more to do with Aqueduct running a weird Derby schedule than it does, boy, these horses just aren't are cut out for the Kentucky Derby. It's almost a better prep for the Pat Day, right?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, it's like not necessarily, and that's the thing. It's like, I don't necessarily think it's always like just these garbage horses. I just think as it relates to the Derby Trail, it's a weird race to have as Magic, I have my thoughts about having a mile race after you've had a mile and eighth race on the prep race, trail. I mean, it's just, you have a mile and eighth race in February, and then you go to a mile race in March, and then you go back to a mile and eighth. It makes no sense, but so
it's a mile and eighth race in December, and you go mile and eighth December, mile January, mile and eighth February, mile March,
mile and eighth April.
Pick a freaking lane.
It's crazy. It is.
I don't know, and then again,
they're on the track at Aqueducts.
I don't even care. I don't care about the timings of them. It's just, why is this a 50-point race? Why is this the same as the San Felipe?
Yeah,
or the Rebel.
You would think the Withers, they would just move the Withers to a mile and an eighth, and then there's your 50-pointer, and then your Gotham could be your 20-pointer or 10 or whatever. That makes sense. Yeah.
But
all right.
Anyways,
we're on the track at Aqueduct, so we are a few minutes away from post. Alex is asking on Maximus Meridius in this. I don't dislike the horse, Alex, but there's so much speed, even with the scratches, it seems signed on, and being on the rail, I don't think is going to be a good spot for him. In this spot. Aaron, what did you think about Maximus Meridius?
Pretty much what you said is how I kind of felt about it as well. I do like that, has been over kind of an off track and ran very well. I think it's all about positioning. If the horse breaks well, maybe outbreaks everybody and gets that spot on top and on the rail and unhurried, I think he can take him a long way. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to get that trip, But listen, at 21-1, I think definitely there are some positives about him versus some of these other ones. And we've kind of seen Parks horses in the past come over to Aqueduct and do okay. So I wouldn't talk you. I don't want to talk you off a 21-1 shot here. Just for me, I think he's going to be up against it from a pace standpoint.
Jared I know Aaron was on the 10 just a touch here, which again, if he keeps that horse 6 wide the entire time, I think he's got a good shot. Who was your top pick? Would you also go with the 10?
Yeah, I also went with the 10 and really confirmed with the 10 after the slap, and it didn't hurt me anyway. But horses that I thought were interesting that aren't, the 8-5 favorite, I kind of lean more towards the other Clement horse that as far as the two in the race, the 13 Capital Idea. I considered putting this horse on top. And honestly, you look at the last race on the slop at Aqueduct, 1/8, put up a big number. I mean, you're really getting the same race really out of that. Drawing the outside post is kind of what took me off of him, or at least gave me pause. But I do think this is a nice horse. Is more fresh, obviously, than the stablemate that is a much shorter price. So if you're looking at those two, I think I kind of like the outside Clement more than I like the 3, just based off value.
I see Rob bringing up the old Turf Paradise to Aqueduct Derby Trail move for the 4. Facenda, my friend Bill Branch owns that horse. I mean, why not give it a shot? The horse one start at Turf Paradise, won it. Why not come here for this race? I hope the horse likes a monsoon, because it's the opposite of what he got at Turf Paradise.
This is a disaster out here with this.
Mm-hmm. I kind of like Jared mentioned that 13 for Clement. I think that's an interesting horse as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you. The Clement runners, the 3 and the 13, I'm fascinated to see what they do. The 3 Deterministic was one I was like, okay, this is a good horse when he broke his maiden at Saratoga, but then I had totally forgotten about him. And he came back up the entries. I'm like, how have I heard that? Or where have I heard that? Look it up. I was like, oh, yeah, it's that Saratoga horse. So
Yeah.
God. Just get this race over with. Listen, I feel bad watching this race. This is just
why?
Not for the horses. I just watch this and I'm like, this. It's like, ugh. It's just gross. The whole thing's gross to look at.
Okay, I got you. Well, look, get over it. It's a little rain.
Damn.
Listen, I moved to California for a reason. I hate the rain, hate the snow, hate everything about that right there.
It definitely doesn't look like a lot of fun to be at Aqueduct today. Hopefully, if you are, you're inside.
Yeah, I'm looking out my window here, and it's beautiful here in Missouri. So I'm looking at this and thinking, this sucks.
Yep. Okay, I think we're all loaded here, boys.
Derby points here on the line. We'll see what happens. Ooh.
Already gross.
Yeah, they call it magic. Who's got the lead here? The 7-10.
The 10 is not even being. He's not even trying to put the 10 on the front. There goes Alex's 2, Maximus Meridius.
Just keep the 10 out wide where they're at.
They don't seem to be flying. Yeah, 23 and change, so the 10's well within himself.
Yep.
But I tell you what, if you like the 2, you're smiling because at least he's getting the winnable trip, right?
Yeah.
Yep. The 7 not pressing him is an interesting decision.
I agree.
And the 3 is 4th?
Yes, the 3's a lot closer than I thought he would be.
Interesting move from Rosario.
But there's no pace. So
no. 46 and 3, they sped it up a little bit there.
They did.
Oh, the 10's under a drive and not really moving.
Alex may have called the winner here. Come on.
No one's really moving, to be honest with you.
No.
He's got the whip out on the 13, trying to get.
See what the 3 does if he gets the clear running. 7, El Grande O to the lead.
Is this going to be the day for El Grande O?
You get that.
Whoa, Deterministic is flying inside. Deterministic's got
get him. He's got him.
Wow. El Grande O hit the wall of all walls right there.
Yep.
A great claim by Shoddy and Davey. They get it. They claimed that horse on Monday. Good job, Shoddy Davey. That's a big 50 points for the defending champs.
Yeah, good claim by them because I didn't even know who that horse was when they claimed him. I was like, oh, yeah. So,
tell you what, I like him.
That was good. That was a good effort.
He got running. He had a nice little stride there late. So,
other than the winner, though, can we take anything from this? Because the top 4 horses early is who came across the wire late, and it might not have been that great of a field to begin with, but I don't know how you can really make too much of this other than the 3's probably a really good horse.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, because here's the thing: the 7 clearly doesn't want to go that long still, or a mile or less. The 13, or I'm sorry, the 10. That was when we kind of thought that could be possible. That just a little too much too soon for the horse, just coming in off that main special weight. Nice horse, but probably behind the 8 ball a little bit. Yeah, I mean, really, the 3 is to me the only one I'm considering out of this race. I mean, you got to give him a lot of credit. Yeah, it's in the slot, but man, he looked pretty professional for a horse coming off a long layoff, and I think it's bred and should want to go longer.
It's really hard to take anything from it. I agree with you guys on that one, but I definitely think the 3, when you think about who trains the horse, what that horse can do moving forward after not running in forever, getting that horrible track and still being able to win. I think there's reason to think the 3 in this year's climate of what's happening, the 3's an actual player right now, right? Not saying he's the number 1 horse, saying, hey, he put himself on the map, and now if he can take another step forward, he isn't crazy to think, right?
Yeah. That was the 13 was not good. It was in a drive the whole race. That outside post definitely didn't make any matters better for him. But yeah, the 3. Yeah, really. I mean, the 3 just. I don't know. I mean, they stopped for sure up front.
Yeah.
So that could have looked a little bit better than it really was. I don't want to take it away from him, but they definitely stopped late to make him kind of fly right by them. But yeah, that's not much better you'd want to see off of that long layoff, and you got to imagine that horse is going to the wood out of that one.
Yep.
I mean, 13 seconds flat for that final furlong, and he probably ran it even quicker because I don't think he had the lead at the 8th pole. So in that kind of a condition, that's good. He's the only horse I think I'd want out of this race, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I don't think he's like a monster, but I think he's solid. It was a really good. That's a really good claim.
Anytime you can claim a horse and have him win that very next week or whatever weekend is, that's immediate 30 points.
That's right. Yep.
Wish I knew what that was like.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you're really good at claiming them. You're just not good at the whole getting the points afterwards part. So.
Yeah. Hey, we're headed to the gate at Gulfstream though. We got 2 races left. Honey Fox Stakes. Who's your top pick, Aaron?
What are we doing? Oh, the 6. I like the 6.
Chili Flag. 6-7 straight exacta. I'm playing here.
It's a 6 what exacta?
6-7.
6-7 for the flag. All right. Yeah, I'm with you on the 6 Chili Flag. I actually played Chili Flag in the Pegasus Filly Mare Turf and hoping this class drop helps her get home. See, this is the right time to play it. IRAD, Chad, 9-5. Now you play Chad Brown on the turf when it's not just ice cold on the board.
Okay.
Who else did it? I went with I played the 6 with the 3 and the 2 in my pick 5. I think Be My Sunshine is pretty interesting. She's at the board in 7 of 8 turf starts. I just don't know if she's gonna be good enough against Chili Flag.
She'll be good enough.
Yeah, shoddy. That makes you're losing locked. That helps a little bit.
Yes, indeed.
Who are we waiting on? Ancient Peace.
Now. No doubt. Because I don't know if locks.
Do we see him on the Derby Trail? That's 2 straight preps he's now scratched out of.
I don't think so.
There we go.
He's like Forte, only he didn't have points. He's not running. I think he's got some major issues.
Where's the 7 is winging it early, it looks like, with the 9. Man, it looks like they're running fast. I don't know if they are, but it looks like they're going fast. Let's see.
They hit that quarter pole pretty quickly. Yeah, 22.3. Yeah, they're cooking.
And change. Holy cow.
Great. That's great. Sias, chill the fuck out, man.
That's pretty fast for turf. It is only a mile. That's the good news, but that is pretty fast.
Yeah, but that's not good.
Sias looks like he's trying to slow him down, get him to the outside. He did it.
And backed him off. He knows that this 9 isn't going to make the distance. So he's
He probably wanted the lead and then tried it and realized, dude, we got to chill out. So smart move.
They did slow it way down.
Yeah, no, they've slowed it down. I mean, I think he's in it still, but we'll see. They're starting to gain up on him a little bit.
Here comes Chili Flag. He's finally on screen. Irad just press go on Chili Flag.
Yeah, let's see if he can loop him here. He got the pace. No excuse there.
Yep.
Yeah, 7's
Come on. Come on, Chili Flag.
Come
on, Chili Flag. Come on, Chili Flag. There we go. There we go. All right.
Get there.
Got it.
There. Yes, sir. All right.
Boom.
Nice run from Walkathon. Not one I'd considered strongly. She almost held her off there. Oh wow, 11-1, the final furlong. they were cooking pretty good. Boy, there you go.
Nice. 20 to win on 2, Alterman.
Yeah, that'll put me up around 90, a little over $90 for the day. So that's pretty good.
Sweet.
About a 60-70% ROI. So yeah, happy about that one. That was just one of those things where the pace set up just too perfect for him. Like he wasn't going to lose with that kind of pace on. And yeah, good race, really good race. That was exciting.
Honestly, he ran exactly like I hoped. I mean, I just needed the 7 to not be an idiot early in that race and hold on for second. But honestly, I probably would have played a win on Chili Flag if I would have known that we were going to get 2-1. You know?
Yeah.
That's you know, you guys talked about it. We talked about it earlier about how tough it is when we make these bets early on. I really thought he'd be bet harder. So I tried to create value with the 6 over 7 straight exacta, and 2-1, man. That's great. So.
Well, I mean, I think the hardest part of the game is guessing which bet to make that's the right one with your horses, right? And I think there's been some times today where I haven't made the right call, and sometimes I have, and I think that's the name of the game. But I mean, you had the right idea, and when I handicapped it, I certainly did not think the pace would set up just like that. So the 7 just that opening quarter just got him, and I'll give Size credit. He tried to correct it, and it just, it was too late.
Yeah, but like that's just one of those kind of horses, though. It's like you're not good enough to do the whole like start and stop, start again type thing.
1,000%.
It's not a there are horses that can do that for sure, but he's not one of them. Like that's the one kind of horse that blazes and just steals the race kind of thing, and that whole start and stop thing was never going to work for him. So
Right.
Chili Flag, I lost that one. I was up 60 going into that, so that was only a $10 bet. I'm up 50. That's it for me. I think I had a 150 total wager, so that's going to put me at about 33.3% ROI.
Yeah, another successful Bible for both of us for sure, and that's great. I know the Holy Bull was not great. It wasn't a total terrible, but it wasn't great. But the other 3 this year have all been profitable, so that's good. And like I was telling Magic, it's always nice when you go into like the final race, and it's like I'll just kick back and have a lot of fun with this one because I don't really care who wins.
Yeah, you haven't missed the whole day just begging for this horse to win so you can get even on the day.
Yeah. Right.
Exactly.
Like that feeling when I'll be fine if Fierceness wins this race.
Yeah.
He's kicking his head and he's throwing his head around, and it's like, okay.
It was like last year when I guess it was Florida Derby Day when we needed the Forte over Mage exacta, and I mean we had to have it. It had to have it, and that thing came. I mean, that couldn't have came any closer.
You're not wrong.
But yeah, that's great. Bible's great. Appreciate it, Bree. It's been a good day. Halterman and I going to combine for probably a 50% ROI, whatever it ends up being. So is that it? Do you have another bet, or are you done too?
No, I canceled as well. I canceled my last bet because of the scratches. I had locked, and I thought, I still kind of like Dornoch now, but it's like I don't really want to play it 2-5, and the horse I like in second is Speakeasy, and I don't want to play that exacta for like 4-5. So I just said the hell with it.
Yeah, I'm same. I had Victory Avenue, but obviously not going to play that one. So I put no bet there as well. Interesting. I'll be interested to see what this 5-1 exacta is going to look like. I imagine it's going to be low, but the exacta wheel pays have been higher than I expected already. So maybe you get a little value there, but I don't really trust it. I don't trust Dornoch enough to bet that straight.
That's just it, right? Like, I understand and I respect him, but I don't trust him. I was the same way. Like, I think there's a world where we come out of this race and go, well, you're probably going to rank him number 1. And I think there's a world where you come out of this and you go, well, he wasn't that good, right? I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why I picked what I thought was a maiden Pletcher colt over Dornoch in the draft. Turns out it's a filly, but still, there's a reason why I went against him there on that first round, just because I was like, I just don't. One, we didn't know how long it'd be, and then obviously it's March now. We're finally seeing him, but you just you kind of wonder. Now, again, on the flip side of that, if he were to run well today, then you're like, wow, that was dumb because he's a nice horse. Because if he beats Sierra Leone obviously comes back to win and do it nicely, and then comes back and wins the Fountain of Youth and does it well. It's like, well, he's going to go into the Florida Derby or the Bluegrass or wherever he ends up with not only a good shot, but one of the top good Derby contenders.
Yep. No, absolutely right. And
let's be honest. Let's just be honest. Like, he just needs to run okay today and win, and he is a top 5, top 3 Derby contender.
Yep.
That's where we're at. So
that's where we're at. Yep. He opens at 3-5 and Speakeasy 7-5, by the way. But yeah, no, I mean, that is it. And look, I think I was looking forward to, like, okay, this is gonna be a real test, right? Victory Avenue and Lock, like, whether you like those two horses or not, they're real looking horses. They're more horses that could give him a test. And now you look at it and go, well, there is Speakeasy and that horse could test him. But these other ones, if you're real serious as a Derby contender, these other ones really shouldn't test you unless we see something unexpected.
Yeah. Okay, we have a little time to kill, and it could be a good segue into this race because he opted to run yesterday. Opted to run yesterday instead of running today in the Florida or in the Fountain of Youth. What are you taking away from the performance yesterday from Conquest Warrior and the Sugar Horse, and the allowance race yesterday at Gulfstream Park? Obviously, could have ran in this race, didn't. What are you taking away from it came back kind of a mediocre 84 buyer? What are you taking away from that? Do you think he's a real-time player as we go into, I assume he'll be in the Florida Derby from that performance? Sounds like Suge is on board with that after the race. So what's your opinion of that? And I mean, how impressed were you with the performance?
Good. I'm super impressed. Don't care about the number. I think he'll be my play to win the Kentucky Derby if he wins the Florida Derby. That's the quick answers for me. I thought he did everything so nice. I think he doesn't need the lead, but he's also handy enough to where he's not going to be last. I think it's all going to come down to that last race for him because that's the only like real data point we're going to have. I don't think Merritt's any good, so it's not like that was an amazing win. But I mean, he passed Merritt like he was a piece of shit, right? Like there wasn't anything to it. I mean, he didn't even ask him. He just went right by him on his own. So
yeah,
look, I think the key is going to be the last race. If he can show up against better company and kind of make that kind of move, I think he can win the Derby.
I think he is, he's scary. Like, because I don't care about the number as well. I know what I saw, and that was, I mean, I don't know what more you want to see from a performance. No matter what, as we say in our group chat with John White, it's an 84 plus, right? Because that he was never even, I don't know if he ever got out of first gear, to be honest with you. He did it the right way. That was the biggest thing for me. He didn't go gate to wire. He didn't like miss the break and had to go just crazy, run them all down. Like he set off the pace. He was professional. He sat right there. When it came time to go, they said, all right, let's go. They interviewed Jose afterwards, and he's like, yeah, that was the last race was tougher on him than that one. Like that was nothing. It was a 1.8 race. Obviously, there was really no worries going into it that he could go long, but definitely proved it. Yeah, I'm with you. It kind of reminds me of one of those Suge horses that's just getting, if there's one thing about Suge, man, he's a legend. But like when he gets a horse going, he gets him going. It's a lot like D Wayne, right? When they're hot, they're hot, until they're not. And so with Suge, it's like, man, he's slow with them. It's very frustrating, right? But he's slow with them for a reason. And when he's got a good one, this is $1 million horse. When he has them right, this is a horse that, he might come into the Kentucky Derby as one of the best horses, like running the best at that moment.
I agree. And I think at times it is frustrating to look at Suge and how he handles them when they're coming up and be like, ugh, God, just put him in a freaking stakes race already, Yeah. and hindsight 2020, if he's in this race right now, he's probably the second choice to win it. But Yeah, I totally agree with what he said. He's trying to progress them in the right way. And I think the one pause you got to have is he probably beat worse horses yesterday than he beat when he broke his maiden. And so it's like, okay, he's not facing much, right? And so how's that past performance going to look, and how's he going to stack up when he faces a little bit better of horses in the Florida Derby? But again, to me, the way he did it and the ease with which he did it, it's just not something we've seen a whole lot of from the crop yet of eligible Derby runners. So, yeah, I tend to agree that he's definitely on the radar. I think I'll move him up to 6 or 7 in the rankings with the idea of, look, it's a one-shot deal, and whatever happens, happens. If he sucks in the Florida Derby, we don't have to worry about him in the Kentucky Derby, and if he rolls, then we got a serious candidate.
Yeah, and okay, let's shift on to, because I see some comments from you guys, and I think that's an interesting kind of point. Because I thought about that too a little bit going into this race. So you've got Speakeasy, and it's like, okay, well, gosh, I mean, maybe he's not very good because, I mean, usually those Pletcher horses are going to be bet really, really hard on their debuts, and this horse was 8-1. Well, how much of that is a factor, and how much of it is like the hype was too much on Victory Avenue? The hype was, I think we can agree the hype was too much, but it was so much the hype that this horse floated up way higher than he ever should have been. He should have been 3-1 instead of 8-1, but all that hype was, I guess the reason I'm asking is I did have that people asking me, and I had the thought process too. It's like, well, you don't typically, like a lot of times, a Todd Pletcher first time starter is never going to be 8-1 if he's any good. He looked good, but then you could say, well, maybe that was just not a real thing. Where are you at with that kind of conversation?
His odds were too high. Victory Avenue was a hyped horse, took a lot more money than a normal horse from those connections would take. So that was number one. You also had, a brother to tap it, or not tap it, a brother to that idiot that never could win.
Tacitus.
So you had that, who was taking dumb blind money. So you had some things that would make a Pletcher maybe go 3 or 4-1. The alarming thing is 8-1. So if we're sitting here and it's like, he went off at 4-1, he never should. When does a Pletcher ever go off at 4-1? Well, there was enough other money to spread around where that could have been the case. But when you're 8-1, it does become a little bit like, no, that's not good.
And maybe someone, I guess I could pull it up real quick, but who else was in there that what choice was he?
Fourth choice, maybe.
Who else took money in that? Who else took money in that race?
So here, I'll pull it up. Okay, so Speakeasy was 8-1. Victory Avenue was 3-2. Yep. Big City, who was second today in another maiden, was 9-2.
Okay.
Corporate Power, who came back to win a maiden special weight last weekend, was 17-1. Tapakina, who was in a maiden special weight today, didn't do very good, was 7-1. Batten Down, that's the Tacitus brother, was 9-2. Batten Down, by the way, came back to run second to Corporate Power, and then it kind of goes on from there. So really, a couple things, like some overbet horses for sure, but a pretty decent race, because I know Big City lost today, but ran a pretty decent race. Just okay.
He got that horse, just whatever that was, but not a terrible race, really. No. And those two horses were far and away the best, Speakeasy and Victory Avenue. But still, and I think you're right, because that's where I'm at with it too. Still, I get the horse was not ever should have been 8-1, but probably should have been 4-1,
Yeah. So if you look at it and you say, okay, let's give Victory Avenue 3-2. It was the heavily hyped horse. That's fine. Okay, let's give the idiot brother 9-2, Batten Down.
The idiot brother.
Big City.
It's a movie, isn't it?
I think so. Big City was 9-2. So if Pletcher's 9-2 instead of Big City, then you go, okay, well, end of the day, it's just there were some dumb horses that took money, and Pletcher snuck in at 9-2. That's not that big of a deal. But you look and you go, okay, you're counting, and it's okay, he's the 5th choice in the race. Okay, that's where it becomes a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, I don't know, but he can silence all the question marks here today, I think.
Yeah, and look, the bottom line is they were the Speakeasy and Victory Avenue were well ahead of everybody else. Okay, the third place finisher got second in a maiden next out. The fourth place finisher won, and then the sixth place finisher got second in a maiden next out. It's not like they were facing bad horses. I mean, you could nitpick: were they good? Were they not good? Do you want to bet them next time? It's not really what we're talking about. Horses that the top two beat very easily have come back to run okay in maidens. So I don't think it's nearly as good as what the speed figures say, that race. I don't at all. I lean more towards I don't think Speakeasy is for real. However, this field, you might be fake and win, right? So let's pretend Dornoch isn't ready. You can be fake and beat the rest of these horses if you're Speakeasy.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's it. I was fading Speakeasy altogether, to be clear. And then with these scratches, it's like, well, look, him and Dornoch are going to be out on the lead by themselves. They're not going to burn each other out. They should control things, and then it's just kind of a match race. And if one is super fit and one is not, the super fit one, even though he might not be as good, might beat him. I mean, that's kind of the way I looked at it. I still pick Dornoch, but I wouldn't be shocked if Speakeasy wins.
Are you shocked if I told you that the pick 3, pick 4, and pick 5 favorite is all Speakeasy and not Dornoch?
Yes. That is very surprising to me.
So it's been very chalky, this pick 5 so far, and then the two horses that are the top two choices for the pick 5, Speakeasy 138 and change, Dornoch 169 and change. The third choice, according to that, is the 4 Real Macho, who pays $1,013.
Yeah, and I mean that makes sense. I mean, Real Macho definitely was a horse that upset Born Noble, a horse that I'm still fairly high on. Maybe stupidly, I'll admit that I still want to give him one more shot. So yeah, I mean, Real Macho, he does make sense. Not everybody, but Bree and Curtis, I know you've been high on Frankie's Empire since I think when did you guys talk? Wednesday, I think. So, and I think Frankie's Empire, I think he's kind of the up and comer. He changed trainers and he looked like a different horse last out. So, I don't think the stretch out's going to be a big problem for him. I think his biggest problem is he was in a race that had a ton of pace and like real pace horses, good horses that had speed. He's now in a race where I don't think that setup's going to be there for him. So I hate that for him. But if they do go fast enough, I think he is a major candidate to get up there and really have a big shot. But to be clear, if Luis Saez and Irad Ortiz just are smart about this, they are naturally faster than everybody else. Just get out in front and kind of control things and turn it into a 2-horse race. That is very possible that could happen.
Yeah. It kind of looked like Aqueduct in the Gotham, where just the horses that were up front early, they were the ones that were left to piece it out at the end. So my pick 5 ticket is still alive. I've got Dornoch, who was my top pick here. Almost singled him. I did use Real Macho, so I could either get $169 or I could get $1,013 out of this. So I'll let you guess who I'm rooting for in this race. But I'm all over Dornoch. I think realistically, I think he's the horse to beat in here. The 4-5 favorite right now. Ron asked a good question. With a 6-horse field and with, there's 2 horses that are clear cut above the rest on paper, what price would you actually take on Dornoch to place a win bet on him here?
I think the answer is different for everybody. Let me just say that. I'll answer it from my vantage point, which could be completely different from any of the other 143 people watching this right now, because what price you take on a certain horse depends on your opinion on the horse. I, for whatever reason, just don't trust Dornoch all that much. I've been confused by him. I picked him to win the Rimson, and I was very confused coming out of it, even though that he won. I'm still not 100% certain that Dornoch and Sierra Leone are like great. I know they're good. That I know for sure that they're good. Mm-hmm. I don't trust him that much. So for me, I'm going to need it to float up a little more, like 6-5, 7-5. But if you like him and you trust him, 4-5 against this field is about right. It's kind of like with the talk with Tumbarumba, when you looked at him in the 11th and you go, well, I don't want to play him at this price. However, that's what his price should be. With Dornoch, we all kind of said, yeah, he's probably 3 to 5. That's probably what his price should be. So if you love him, you're getting the price to play him right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, 4 to 5 even money, but I do love what you said at the start that it's different for everybody. And you need to find what you kind of think are your, not to take a page from Ed DeRosa's book, but find your own fair value on what a horse is, what you think they should be. I wouldn't touch Speakeasy at even money, but I don't trust that he's really going to want to even go this far with another horse pressing with all the things that I was still listening when I dipped out, but listening to you and Jared talk about it made a bunch of great points. So, I don't know. It's crazy. How do we still have 12? Seems like every race has been like bam, 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 bam. And we've got 12 minutes to post still on this race.
I know. We're talking about Timberlake. And it was kind of the same thing. I will say this. I think I trust Dornoch a little bit more than Timberlake. Maybe not so much now because Timberlake came out and I picked him by default basically because I hated everybody else in the field, but I wasn't confident in him. But when you look at Timberlake coming out of that race, it's like, well, that was not horrible. Like it wasn't good, really, like crazy good, but it was like that was good enough. So that's kind of, can we see that from Dornoch? We'll kind of see what happens there. But yeah. Where was I going to pull? Oh yeah, this one. Curtis said he'd take even money. Track and pace setup should favor him, but they've said they've been taking it light on him. You never know if that's trainer speak, if that's for real, whatever. You just never really know what that means. So I think that's always there.
I did hear that too. Danny Gargan says that he thinks he's ready for this race, but this isn't the main goal. And okay, that makes sense. Who was the Remsen winner that he had 2 years ago? WNL or last year, and same trainer, same owners. WNL came back out of that, and now he wasn't as hyped and wasn't as exciting of a winner as Dornoch was in his Remsen, but he came back and was just dog shit. Is. Like every time he runs now, you're like, that's okay, all right.
It's Dornoch's going to go one of two ways. This is really how I feel about him. They're going to look at that Remsen and go, boy, he made a ton of mistakes down the stretch. Like he was wild, bounced off the rail, let a horse pass him, came back. Man, he's going to grow up and he's going to be good. Or you're going to look at him after today and you're going to go, he might just be a little bit of a head case, right? And it's just problems that he's always going to have and you always have to deal with. Sometimes, a horse has problems in a race or two, but they get him lined out and they put it behind him. And sometimes they bounce off the rail every race, right? Or do dumb things and find ways to lose. So that's the key to today is which way are we going to lean with him? Which way is he going to go?
I think he's going to... I think regardless if he wins or loses, we're going to come out of this going, man, that horse is a head case.
You think so?
You remember his maiden win at Keeneland? He was on the wrong lead and he was serpentining in the stretch. Like, if you just ran straight, you could have set a track record, but he was all over the place. So
hey, you don't have to tell me. I was sitting there live and in person when he couldn't beat Seize the Gray at Saratoga, and I had a shitload on him because he was very hyped to me, and he was 5-2, and I thought, well, that's good enough, and he couldn't beat Seize the Gray. But he also kind of got a weird ride, trip, however you want to call it,
I was not that anybody else would care, but I'll tell you, I was sitting here waiting for Eclipse, who we get all of our photos from for most of the tracks, and I was like, man, they haven't updated Gulfstream all day. And so I was like, well, they got it for this track in Japan. I'll go look over there. They've been putting them all in this Japan tracks folder. I'm like, that's why they don't have any Gulfstream photos for me today, because they don't know where they're supposed to be putting. I just now discovered it. I had to tell somebody. Okay, carry on.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, it's a 2-horse race. I was watching in the other room. I was watching the telecast or whatever on whatever FS1, and they were showing some highlights of Dornoch, and I mean, I don't know. I still just don't buy that last race from him. I don't know. The whole re-rally thing on the rail, I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong, and that was a sign of a really, really good performance. But I don't know. That was a weird race.
You're not wrong. It was weird. It was very weird.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had trouble ever since that day digesting it. And, when you have to, not have to, I shouldn't say when you have to, but when I get to do my top 5 videos every week for the Kentucky Derby, you rank your top 5, and I've said it every video from now and from December till now. I don't dislike him. I think he's good. I am unsure of how good. I am unsure of just how good he is, what exactly he is. And I've been saying, hey, I'm very much looking forward to seeing him race again, so I have another data point and another look at this thing.
That's low. That's low, even from you, Curtis. That is low.
It is low, but it's funny. It's very funny.
That's true, though. That's true. That's one of them. There's very few that I've been wrong on, but that's one of them. So. And I was so bad with it that I convinced Alterman to pick him in the Derby. That's how bad I was with it. So.
Well. Yeah.
I think I did it with Taba too. I just have that effect.
Well, Taba was more of I didn't know what to do in that one, so. I had actually convinced myself to flip to Forte, and then I heard all those rumors, and I thought, okay, never mind.
Well, Taba was also the first year of the back teen or the Gaffert. Like, we didn't know what was going to happen. We just assumed if they switched right before the San Diego Derby that they'd be fine.
Yeah.
Still keep it going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, to be totally, I was at least. It took me. I bet him in the. I bet him in the Derby, obviously. Papatrice, that is, and then I was like, if there's ever a time, it's the Belmont. And the whole way around, I was like, this is perfect. This is exactly how you should. Like, you could not have drawn this race up better. Even the top of the stretch, you got to win this thing. He's right there. And after that, he was dead to me. I threw him off the bandwagon, and he took a lot of money for the next couple of races. Not a lot, but he took money, and I was very happy to not be betting that horse anymore. So he's officially dead to me. I'm with you, Rodney. He is ass.
They're heading to the track. All right, Dornoch 4-5 still. So, yeah, again, if you like him, you got to like him. You got to like that price. It's where you need to be, I think, in this field. Yeah. Magic dead? I think he froze.
No, I'm here. Just waiting for them to get these damn horses to the track. It seems like it's like taking a month of Sundays to get to this race. Jeez. Oh, well. Rumors of a Racing Dudes Bluegrass Stakes meetup. Is that true?
Yeah.
This is very true, Curtis.
Absolutely, yeah.
We are going to 100% be there. So,
I think Heather's going to break her Keeneland maiden as well.
Wow. Hey now.
Yeah, she was asking. She's like, "Is Keeneland cool?" I was like, "Yes, I've been telling for years. It's great." She's like, "I think I'll go."
Keeneland's awesome.
It's amazing.
Best track outside of California.
Yeah.
We go for the barbecue too, so and the whiskey, of course, but the barbecue and the whiskey are good too. So it's just an all around good trip.
Yep.
The bread pudding. Get the bread pudding. Shit's amazing. The pizza. Oh, actually, that was the best food of the entire trip. Was that pizza?
That pizza was. That is always a nice little send off for our trips out there. Is the pizza place.
Yep.
Which, ironically enough, is the one that's is iconically known. If you're a bar stool, if you're a stoolie, is known for what the 0.0 review, which is hilarious.
Yep. They fixed that real quick.
Yeah. Is it called Godfathers? No, that's not right. Is it?
Oh boy, I always forget it. I know how to get there, but I don't know what the name of it is. I always forget it.
Hey, Bree, well done.
Oh, that's great.
Good,
great.
Nice.
Curtis. Goodfellas. That's it. Yep.
Good. Yeah, that's it.
Good fellas. Yeah. Just went there last Friday. Shit. All right. Damn it! Now I'm hungry for pizza. I wasn't even hungry for pizza.
It's the one right there, like on the real cool spot. Like it's right there, like on a creek or something, and it's got the mill or some bullshit. It's kind of a cool vibe over there.
There's like 4 or 5 like restaurants all within the same complex.
Yeah, it's a really fun little area. It's always a bummer too. We're dumb because there's only been a few times when we've actually gone there and not had to leave the next day or like right after that. Like it'd be a good spot to just hang out. We did that one time after the races. They actually got to drink and have fun, but the Iron District.
Yeah, the Iron District. Yep.
That's where we haven't been to the one downtown, which I think wasn't the Iron District one, the one where the review was at.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I will say we're going back there after the races this year because that was a great place to go and drink too.
Oh, dude. Well, yeah, because every time we go, typically it's always like, man, this looks fun, but we have to leave,
Yeah.
So it was a good spot. Yeah, that's a good vibe. We'll definitely be there, Curtis. And we like to. I don't even know now. Again, we know all the places. We can't think of the names. The barbecue joint that we always head up there in Lexington. It's really, really good. So that's usually locked in the 2 days for as far as
you didn't take me there. Guess I gotta come back. All right.
It was way too busy. That we came for Breeders' Cup. It was nuts that weekend.
Oh.
Shit, I can't think of the name of that one either. It is good. Yeah.
I just want to. Next time I come back to Keeneland, I want to make sure I'm sober enough to remember the football game car to car as we're driving.
2 questions, Curtis. Is your acquaintance a male or female, and is she single?
Oh. Okay.
Red State. I don't know.
No, that wasn't it.
The barbecue place.
I don't know. I'll look it up. I can't think of it. Oh, here we go. Hold on.
Have we booked anything for the Bluegrass?
Yeah.
Have we really? Because I was talking to Paul, and I was like, have we got? I mean, we're going, but he's like, I don't think Aaron's booked anything yet.
What I like about Paul is I always just tell him, no, I haven't done anything because it bothers him to death because he's like the greatest planner of all time.
That's the thing. He was sending me meals, like restaurants that we were going to go eat at 3 months ago for the Bluegrass.
Dude.
And I was like, dude, I don't even know what I'm doing next week here for me. Like,
it was like a Mexican place. And I was like, dude, I don't really eat that all that much.
Yeah.
He's like, what about margaritas? I was like, maybe I'll just go somewhere and you guys do that. I'm not going to that.
It's in a
I don't ever want to go to a Mexican restaurant that's so busy I need a reservation for it. That's not my kind of Mexican place. Like I want like a dirty, cheap Mexican spot,
right? Not
fancy ass. Got to get reservations. No.
J. Renders is the name of the place. Yep. J. Renders.
J. Renders.
Yep.
It's like a little strip mall thing.
Yep.
The best, the absolute best wings, barbecue wings that I've ever had.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. They're walking to the gate almost though, so we can.
Who's the hell's Tyler looking at?
I don't know.
Somebody say vamos, and he's asking him what the hell it means. That's what Tyler's doing right now.
Have you guys been seeing the introductions they've been doing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Introductions.
Yeah,
it's pretty amazing.
That's kind of what the joke before you had showed up was that Tyler like I was telling Aaron, I was like, you have all these jockeys that show up and they're like Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Panama, and Tyler goes Dania, Florida. Like, okay, one of these things is not like the other.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I can't understand some of these, and then the next one, now you hear that one, you're like, oh, all right, got it.
I know him.
Yeah, that's all right. I saw him. What was it? It was the Sunday after Breeders' Cup when it was at Santa Anita. I was at the track, and I passed him as he was leaving, like he was going to the airport, like he was all dressed up in his suit and everything. And I said, "Hey, thanks for coming out. Glad to see you at Santa Anita still riding and saying like, I'm really glad you were here." And he kind of gave me a look and said thanks. And then I realized right after he walked away, he hadn't won a race all day long, and he thought I was trolling him. Thanks for coming out here, you asshole, for not winning a race. It's all right. I know who he goes home to, so I don't feel too bad for him if he has a winless day.
3-5 now on Dornoch. So he's starting to go down a little bit.
Halterman, did you ever believe that the day that you made the decision, whenever that was, to claim Speakeasy that he'd be 6-5 in the Fountain of Youth?
Nope. I sure as heck didn't. I'm very, very surprised.
5 legs, Jared. What are we referring to?
People are saying Speakeasy just scratched.
There's no way.
I shouldn't laugh, but yep, he did. He scratched.
No,
and Dornoch's 1-9. We should have just stopped being live after the last race. We should have just cut it.
What the hell is going on at Gulfstream today?
Oh my goodness gracious.
God, this.
Wow. First locked, then victory. Just FYI, Nisos at tomorrow's race, and now Speakeasy.
It's funny. This morning I called it a 5-horse field, and I think it was Ron. I think it was like, no, it's actually a 6-horse field. Ron, I was right.
Yeah, it was.
Wrong. I knew, baby. Well, I mean, are we going to just go off the air? Can we just leave? Because
I mean, does this race? I don't know.
I mean, this is like the worst. I don't even.
If Dornoch doesn't win this, I mean, good lord, like.
Yeah.
I mean,
Chris Miles says he threw Irad and ran off the chute.
Really?
Mm. Yeah, of all the Fountain of the Youth, this is certainly one of them. That's sure.
It's something. It's definitely something. Wow. Well, now I'm wishing I had Dornoch on my fantasy team because by default, he's gonna run backwards and win this race.
Dude,
I mean,
Ricky comes in and says worst prep ever. Until tomorrow, that's the problem. Like, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Sure. But then tomorrow we've got a 4-horse San Felipe, where Imagination is gonna be like 1-5.
You could ask me the same question that I asked you earlier. Did I ever think that Imagination would be 1-5 in a San Felipe? No.
I mean, unbelievable. So, go ahead, Magic. What'd you say earlier?
Someone Chris Milo actually said that he threw Irad and ran off in the chute.
Wow.
Yeah. Real matches. So all the horses' odds immediately plummet because all the money that was on the one gets refunded, and since he was 6-5 or even money, suddenly you're taking a huge. You're taking like 25-30% of the pool out. So everybody's odds are going to plummet like that. Yeah.
This is one case. I'll be clear, very much, Sean. Just one case where it makes sense that the odds are plummeting at the last. Usually we can get mad. This time it's like, well, you just took out an even money or second choice, even money second choice. So
everybody else's pick fives payouts are going to stay the same, except for if it's Dornoch. And Dornoch was paying $169. He'll probably pay like 80, 70, 80 bucks because the one was paying 130 something, 135, I think it was. So, yeah. Everything's going to be if Dornoch wins, everything's going to be bad for your payouts. Like they're going to be cut it in by like 60%, but the other one should stay the same.
It's pretty awesome. My fantasy, I am done playing fantasy this year. I'm just going to say that right now. I'm not.
You and I said that last week. They were especially done.
Now it's over. I mean, he could have walked backwards and got 25 points today, and but he couldn't buck the jockey off. We've learned that. Good God.
I mean, the 5-4 exacta is now, which I was going to play, is now paying 3-1. Like,
not that you care, Halterman, at this moment, but at least it's like he's an idiot, and maybe will probably run. I don't know. I could see him going. Because they're between that allowance race yesterday and this one. Maybe they kind of go that route now. You also could see him running in a prep race next time out still. So I don't know.
All I got out of that is your horse is an idiot.
I'm trying to make you feel a little better, but it doesn't seem to be working.
No, I appreciate it.
That sucks because you were literally being gifted 25 points and a positive claim on him since you spent 20 on him and probably enough points to get him into the Derby, if not very close. And now the idiot is going back to the barn.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, we woke up this morning going, this could be a real interesting race
You can't.
Like, if Dornoch wins easily, we go, okay, he didn't beat anything. If Dornoch loses, we go, that's a shit field. Like, yeah, exactly, Rodney. Like, there's nothing to glean from this.
This race, he could win by 10, he could win by 15, he could win by 1, and there's really nothing that comes out of this race that gives you any insight whatsoever. With him, with the Derby picture, nothing. It's an absolute joke. The only thing that happens out of this race is that one of these idiot horses, because let's be honest, one of these bullshit horses are going to get 25 points to the Kentucky Derby.
They'll be in. Ron's asking if they'll get it. 25 points will absolutely get you in the Derby this year with Baffert eating up everything on the West Coast.
Yeah.
If not, it'll be very close. And with scratches and injuries and stuff, it may get you in, yes. And so you're getting to tell me that Real Macho or one of these fucking morons, Frankie's Empire, are going to get into the Derby because of this is crazy. But what do you expect? I mean, all of them are scratched. So I bet Zayas and Safi. Gosh, I mean, Shug. I mean, come on. They could not have asked for a better situation if you were to rent him in here.
I mean, it's incredible. Incredible. Let's see what happens. Listen, hey, the one thing I can tell you, if the 5 doesn't win, probably toss him, right? So
yeah. Yep. Can we get Dornoch to break here? Get him in the gate so we have at least one.
Steve makes a good point.
We need that.
If you thought the Rebel Field was bad, we shouldn't have complained. That Rebel Field was great compared to what we've got today.
One of the best Rebels of all time compared to that. Jeez.
All right, well, 5-horse field. It went from 9 to 5.
and literally all the good ones scratched. So, Dornoch. The only thing weird can sometimes happen in all these kind of races when all the unbeknown to them that all the pace and things change. All the tactics might be shifted. Who you're expecting to be on the lead, and whatnot. But it looks like the Dornoch and Size are just going to go right there and push.
He was looking too. Cordero was watching for Dornoch to try and get that. That didn't work. Dornoch's just too good.
Yeah. I think Size is probably thinking, piss on this. Like, let's just go, forget about the rest of these horses. Just go run our race here like it's a workout.
It is interesting that it seems like Gaffleone's getting Real Macho involved. He's kind of read the situation. He's like, well, we got to get closer today, So that's interesting.
I mean,
except for Dancing Groom. Dancing Groom didn't get that memo.
Yeah, what's happening with Dancing Groom? Castellano is just out for a joyride.
He's in some trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, those fractions, 24 and 2, 48 flat, like, he's got to have this, right?
2's getting ready to put his nose in front.
Boy.
Maybe.
The problem is we don't have any horses in here that can come challenge him again,
No. There you go, Saez. All right.
I'll give Edwin credit. He's trying to go out there.
He tried. Yeah.
Yeah, he went out there and said, I'm going to make it hard on this horse. Look at him. He's battling
He's still making it hard on him.
Come on, Edwin. Beat him. That'd be great. No, not good enough.
Change your leads. There you go. Jeez, that took way too long.
I still don't think he's very good, though.
Yeah, let's see.
143 and 3.
I don't think there's been another mile and 16th race today, has there?
No.
I don't think so.
What'd they run the mile in? 136 and change? Let me look at something here.
Yeah.
That was...
It was a race.
Yeah, that
I mean, what do we take away from this?
That too was
Anything?
good, Don. That too basically just said, you know what, we're going to put it to you, and he never stopped fighting, even to the end. That horse never stopped fighting.
Yep.
Especially at that big a price, 27-1.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm not going to go down that road. Never mind.
Ladombro was 9th in the Remsen. 2nd in the Swale, and then 2nd right there. All right.
Okay.
Well, hey, we got 2 more horses in the Kentucky Derby gate. There we go.
I'm trying to look at what did they run the mile in?
I thought
Wasn't
it was
it
like
one-
136 and change.
136.8 something maybe. The final time of the Gulfstream Park mile today was 135.74.
And we said those weren't great horses.
Yeah. So I don't know what the exact time was, but they ran it slower. But again, the race didn't end at a mile, so it's very hard to compare.
Yeah.
But it's all we can compare it to. They didn't run another race at this distance.
Yeah, that was not
I thought that
anything.
was awful.
There's a couple different horses I feel like, well, I mean, I think Victory Avenue would have had a say in that for sure. I think the other ones obviously would have. Speakeasy and Locked. I don't know. That's again, like we knew that going in, like after the scratches, like we there's nothing to learn here.
Okay, he ran the mile in 136.95, so that's over a second slower than the Gulfstream Park mile was. Now, again, that was a race where they finished. Where here, he hadn't finished the race yet, so that does make
You had
a
to go
difference.
2 turns.
Yeah, no,
versus
all
one.
differences, all fair. That's all we can compare it to. That's all I'm doing.
I think the biggest thing for me, and again, it is his first race. Got to give him some pass, some leeway on that. But you would have liked, the race seemed over, and then it wasn't. Like the 2, by the way, who's not very good, put it back to him again, was still right there. Like you would have liked to have seen him. I think I saw a comment somewhere. Would have liked to see him to win by more and a little easier, but yeah, that's just me being picky.
Well, that's not too
Visually,
picky.
I
He didn't
wasn't-
change his leads for
Visually, I
forever.
was not impressed.
He needed to
I didn't
change
think-
his leads a lot sooner than that. I mean, they went 25.5 seconds from the 3/4 to the mile. Like, they were slow from the 3/4 to the mile. And it wasn't like he was just out there dawdling.
Yeah, but again, and he's got a good spot now. He's got 50. Well, he's got more than 50 points, but he's in the Derby really. But at the same time, he's another horse that even though he's in the race, which is a lot more than some of these horses can say, the last prep is we still don't know what really he is. You know, I don't personally. That's where I'm at with him. I don't know what he is. I don't really believe in what I've seen anything from him yet. Having said that, you can't argue that he's not a top 5 Derby horse right now.
Agree.
So I'm not going to sit
agree.
here and say he's trash because this is kind of where we're at. I just don't know that I believe in him yet.
I agree. I think I guess he's there, but I don't.
Dancing Groom is very slow. I would agree, James.
I can't sit here and say, boy, I think he's on the road.
Yeah. I guess he goes. I would imagine. There's talk that he might go to the Bluegrass too, Ron. There's
Yeah, I
talk
think-
about the Bluegrass as well.
They had said bluegrass,
So- We'll see.
but we'll see on that. Yeah, I
In
mean,
bluegrass, you could have in the bluegrass right now. You could have him. You could have Sierra Leone, which would be a rematch, and then you've got Timberlake possibly in that race as well. So that one's shaping up to be a decent one already. But listen, all three of those horses really are in all. And by the way, all three won their last preps going into that, assuming they get running that. All three have, in my opinion, I'm going to go into that saying I need them to show me which one, who's good here.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have to get a lot better off that race for sure. It's tough though, because like what really you have to watch it back again. Did they really ask him to do much? What's going to happen when they do ask him for a little bit more? I don't think you're going to be able to not change your leads, and halfway in the stretch of a race like the Derby or the Bluegrass. So I mean, he's going to have to grow up. Like, talent aside, he's still not exactly doing things the smoothest, and that shit catches up to you when you actually face decent horses.
Yeah.
And I think that's my worry still with him. It's like he just didn't look the smoothest. He did not look like if he turns the corner and he wins by 2 lengths, but he does everything perfect. Of course, if he did everything perfect, he'd probably win by more. But anyway, if he did everything perfect, it's just like, yeah, it was just a measured couple of lengths, but he was squirrely again. I based off what I've seen, I don't think he's the Derby winner. But again, who is? It's not very good of a race. If he can improve a little bit more, maybe.
No matter what you want to say, Christmas came early or late, however you want to look at it, for Dornoch and the Connections, because they were just gifted 50 points. Because I don't want to sit here and believe that performance there would have held off all three of Victory Avenue, Speakeasy, and Locked. I can't say that he wouldn't have won, but it's hard for me to believe that he got pushed a little bit by the two there. And you're going to tell me that he would have held off Speakeasy, Victory Avenue, and Locked in this race. I just don't see it. So definitely got gifted 50 points there, in my opinion.
I agree.
But
I definitely agree. I thought I actually thought the two might get him at one point in the race. So if I'm thinking that, I would definitely agree that the competition would have been tough for him today. But you know what? They weren't there for one reason or another. So we'll just have to see how he progresses. I think as we keep going week after week with this, it's like we are really like, it's just going to be the 100-point races that are going to tell us we really could ignore everything else that's happened until we, as far as Derby, I'm not saying ignore these cards. They've been good cards. But as far as what's happening in these Derby preps, there just isn't a whole lot that we've learned. And even with the win here, even if you like the win, you still come out of it saying, I didn't really learn much about him.
Because you're watching here, like this two almost gets the lead back.
Saez, let's see, he's hand pumping him. There's 2, 3 smacks.
There.
He's hand pumping him. Another smack. Another one. He hit him like 8 times in the stretch. He rode the shit out of him to beat the 2. I'm sorry. It's like, guys, I can't sit here and lie to you. I don't think that was very good. If you've got him betting the futures, I hope you win. But because I don't have anybody betting the futures, so. But I don't think it was very good.
Who do you have betting the futures, Aaron?
John White for my birthday gave me a future ticket on Nash and a future ticket on El Capi. So
wow,
I don't have anybody betting the futures.
With friends like that, who needs enemies?
I was gonna say, well done, John.
Yeah.
Now to be fair, at that point, that was your number one pick, and Nash was supposed to be Nash. So at that time, maybe not bad, but
yeah.
Oh boy, yeah, John White must hate you.
No, it's funny. We were there in December. And John gave me a birthday card, and I'm like, John, why'd you give me this? He goes, oh, just look at it. I think you'll like it. So he gave it to me. I was like, oh, that is a really cool present. Like future wagers, I think they're paying like $250 for one and $200 for another one. And he's like, yeah, I know you like El Capi and I like Nash, so I got 2 of them for you. And then, yeah, but I guess Nash could still cash. He's still around, right? No, maybe.
I mean,
probably not.
He's still at least he's still possible. Right.
Right.
So you have that, like that, you can rip up the El Capi, but that one's still
right.
live. I mean, So there's that, I guess. But hey, if there's ever been a John White present, that's a John White present. I love it.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, I loved it. It's one of my favorites. But yeah, I mean, if we ever pour, we can burn them for heat. I guess that's why I'm keeping them around.
John Battaglia picks him. We'll get out of here.
Okay, yeah. So let's do the picks, and then I'll ask. I want a question to ask everybody, but my pick is Epic Ride in the John Battaglia.
Same.
I'll go with Encino.
Traitor.
No, this way I can turn into Rodney in the Discord when he wins. So
you guys will celebrate together. So the question for the group here: will the John Battaglia be more productive than the first two races we've seen today, Kentucky Derby Preps, and the one we're going to see tomorrow? Magic.
From a Derby standpoint?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, Derby standpoint. Yep.
The fact that we even have to think about it is
yeah.
Because let's talk it through, Magic. So the San Felipe isn't obvious. This is more productive than San Felipe because there's no one out of that race that can do anything in the Derby really. So that one's easy. The Gotham, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna say yes. This race has more potential.
Yeah,
Magic.
I think so. My biggest issue with deterministic towards the Derby is that he's by a mile or sire out of a sprinter's dam. Like there's not a lot of distance when you look at that. And the two horses we just named for the Battaglia, Epic Rides by Blame out of Gioponti and Encino's by Nyquist out of Bernardini. That automatically tells me they've got better distance pedigree than what deterministic would have. And deterministic wanted a one-turn mile. Like, to me, that's still sprinting. He hasn't stretched out yet. Yeah,
they're bred nicely, but and I think we talked a little bit on Blinkers Off this past week. The synthetic kind of route to the Derby is, I think, becoming a little bit more accepted. Like a little more of an alternative path, and not necessarily used to they're running the turfway, like whatever. I don't care what it is. That means nothing, but. I don't know. 2 fills last year. We've seen some horses come out of these races that have gone on to do really well in the Kentucky Derby. So I think this race has more potential.
Oh, congrats to Bree. Congrats to everybody who played the Derby. I got the Derby talk on my brain. The Betting Bible. These two guys above me with their picks from the Bankroll article. If you followed their lead, you'd be up $102 like Bree. So congrats to everybody who played them. If you didn't, we'll be back for... What's the next Bible going to be, guys? Not Tampa Bay Derby. The week after that's off.
Probably Louisiana Derby will be next. Louisiana Derby
Boom.
On March 23rd will be the next one.
See if Jared has another 10-1 winner that he gives out in the Betting Bible bankroll. So check that out. Visit us at racingdudes.com. But not only do we have free picks for every race, every track, every day across the country, but we've got exacta plays, trifecta plays, multi-race wagers, all in the premium picks. So check those out as well. For Aaron Haltman, Jared Welch, I'm Magic. Thank you for spending your Saturday with us. We hope it ends a lot better than the Fountain of Youth did, unless you just had a lot of money on Dornoch. So thanks, everybody, for joining us, and we will see you guys next time. Where is your... I never find your... There it is.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Blinkers Off. Join our horse racing community at racingdudes.com and follow us on Twitter at racing_dudes. Want to make money betting horses? Bet with the Racing Dudes.